Kevin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Lavris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Welcome back to another episode of Barely Qualified. My name is Nick Lavris, and with me as always is Drew Bailey and Jason Maxwell. In case you haven't noticed, we're doing a little different with our schedule this week with the Thanksgiving week coming up and the Bears playing a Friday game. So this will be our one episode this week. We are going to make it extra long for you guys. So we're going to touch on the Bears Steelers a little bit, and then we're going to preview the Bears Eagles coming up, as well as all of our fun, normal segments that we typically do in a week. So we're going to get to all that fun stuff in a second. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Lola's Handcrafted Churros in downtown Lisle. Lola's offers handcrafted churros from scratch, made to order and piping hot. It doesn't stop there. Lola's pairs these bad boys with ice cream sundaes. I'm talking about s'mores churro sundae, matcha fruity pebbles, Nutella, strawberry, and the list goes on. Get a sundae, get a dozen, just stop for one. Whatever you do, you're going to love it. They have coffee, horchata, freshly made churros, ice cream, and as a wise man once said, what more can you want? Check them out at Lola, L-O-L-A, churros.com. Follow them on Insta or TikTok at Lola's Handcrafted Churros and let us know how you like it. So we're going to get into it now. Boys, another week is in the books. Well, you know, Bears won a close game, bringing their record up to an 8-3, retaining sole possession of first place in the NFC North. Sorry. As of the recording of this, the Bears are currently holding the number 3 spot in the NFC playoffs. And if the season ended today with that 3 seed, we would be hosting a home playoff game at Soldier Field against the Green Bay Packers in week 1. So we haven't played the Packers yet. I don't know how I feel yet, but that scares me a lot. So let's try and avoid that if we can. But being in the playoff, Jay, we talked about this a little bit earlier this week. You texted the group about how the Panthers winning the Monday night game against the 49ers would really help the Bears' playoff chances. It's so much fun to be talking about playoff scenarios and playoff situations and seedings and home games and all that, like everything about the playoffs, like being in week 12 now and actually having a serious, like better than not chance having it's just so much fun. It's the best.
It really is. It's uncharted territory for almost a decade. So you can bring it on, baby.
Yeah, no, it is great though to actually have legitimate rooting interest in games. So yeah, it's good. And also it wouldn't be Thanksgiving week if we didn't celebrate a happy Matt Eberflus is finally fired anniversary to all those that celebrate. In case you forgot, Matt Eberflus was fired right after they landed in Chicago after the Thanksgiving Day debacle in Detroit last year. So again, to all those that celebrate, happy Matt Eberflus is finally fired week.
The turning point of the franchise, truly.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rehash that game a ton, but him not using those timeouts and what the face that he made when they lost that game was just the absolute low point, and let's hope we never get there again.
I think we'll be good for a little while.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive into this game against the Steelers. It's been a couple of days now. Usually we record this the day after the Bears game, but we're about 48 or more than 48 hours removed from the game. So some of the big stories from the game, obviously Aaron Rodgers, he's ducking the Bears. He doesn't want any piece of the heat. He's trying to, no. He has a broken wrist. He flipped off a cameraman. Throw that in there. Bad guy. Anyway, he didn't play. Mason Rudolph started in his place. I want to actually kick it around the horn to you guys. The line didn't change from Aaron Rodgers to Mason Rudolph. It was -3 when we recorded, and it was -3 at kickoff. Weird, right? I mean, I don't know. Drew, did you read anything into that?
I don't really know if there's huge conspiracies behind the lines anymore, or that it's just designated that people ahead of time aren't going to play and they can understand that a little bit more than we do. I think it was all a little bit of a ruse that Aaron Rodgers was never going to play, but you got to keep up, keep up appearances, act like he is. So you try and prepare for him, but also it kind of shows you just how much of a douche Aaron Rodgers actually is. Like this, as much as he's owned the Bears, and you think there would want to be some sentimentality of coming back and beating them one last time, he doesn't care. He actually doesn't care. I don't think that makes a difference in his mind anymore. Things that are actually could be meaningful to a football player, he's a weirdo. So, but that just kind of solidified to me that Vegas probably knew all along that he wasn't going to play. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Honestly, that thought never crossed my mind because I was so set on him playing that thought never even crossed my mind. But that's probably 100% what it is. Jay, I mean, I don't know. Did you think it was? I thought it was weird.
I thought it was odd. I did think it was odd. I had Bears like minus 2.5 on like Thursday or Friday, or right after we recorded the pod. So I think it was Thursday night while we were doing it. And I just kind of took the 2.5. And then when the news came out on Sunday that Rodgers was officially out, and the line had already moved to 3
right
before that news. So the line, like you said, Nick, didn't move at all. I was hoping that there would be a little bit more like, hey, I got a little cushion. I beat the press. All that being said, I think Drew's right. I think that there's just some insider knowledge that he was never going to play. But the flip side of that is that I don't think there's a very real possibility that Vegas would say, hey, Mason Rudolph doesn't give them a worse chance to win the game than Aaron Rodgers at this point. The dude's 41. He's immobile. He's weird. And, I mean, who better to run the Arthur Smith offense than Mason Rudolph? Just vanilla on vanilla, boring on boring, hand the ball off, throw the ball 5 yards, and that's all she wrote. And take the safe check down as many times as you can. So, in conclusion, though, Bears win by 3. Vegas is on to something. They hit it right out of the park and on the nose. So
it's like a Triscuit with a slice of provolone on top of it. Just absolutely tasteless.
Sustenance only.
Yeah,
no enjoyment.
Yeah. Well, hey Jay, at least you get your 2.5, so that's fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Another big story from the game. It was talked about at length leading up to the game and during the game. Bears were down 5 starters in defense. Their entire corner, all of their starting corners, which we know about, Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson, both did not play, and then their entire linebacking core also did not play. And honestly, I thought the defense played okay. Like they gave it, you look at the final score, it gave it 28 points, but 7 of those points were on the strip sack in the end zone on Caleb, and 7 of those points were on a like trick play, like the fake tush push reverse play, which I mean, you kind of chalk up trick plays every once in a while, that happens. So you're talking about like 14 real points the Steelers scored. I mean, that's pretty damn good. The Steelers are not really known for their high flying offense, but still letting an NFL team letting out 14 points with almost like literally almost half of your team backups I'll take that any day. So
100%. I think you hit it like that. The eye test, the defense definitely passed. The final score, you can't really look too much into that, in my opinion, on how the defense actually performed.
Yeah,
we'll take it. Wins are wins, like we were saying.
100%.
I think you were saying too during the game, Nick, is like Bears might have to score 40. Bears might have to score 40. But the defense ended up, holding down the fort. Only 7 points allowed in the second half. That's how you win football games.
I sent that text right after the Steelers just went on a 95-yard, like 30 play, it felt like, drive. And I just didn't think the Bears were going to be able to stop anything all day. So I was hoping they could score 40. But then the Bears defense actually did show up and they started to, put their feet down and play a little bit of defense. That was fun to see. But one other thing I wanted to touch on, or a couple other things I want to touch on. Caleb had he threw for 3 touchdowns and the offense didn't settle for field goals. So They kicked 1 field goal, scored 4 touchdowns. So that was that's always a key to the game for this Bears team, is not settling for field goals, getting in the end zone, and they did it 4 times, which you'll take 4 touchdowns any game. And then just an update, Caleb is currently on pace for just under 4,000 yards. He's on pace for 3,969. So he needs to average a little bit, like about 240 yards a game the rest of the way to hit 4,000, which is, I think, the exact number he hit this week. So yeah, if he has 6 more games exactly the way he does this game, then he's going to get there. So let's God, please, again, just get there. That's all I care about. That's really all I care about. And then lastly, a little fun change of pace. There's a key penalty for the Steelers. I feel like a lot of times the Bears have the ones with the key penalties. That key penalty where Rudolph took off late in the 4th quarter, got about 25 yards on a scramble, but it was called back for an illegal formation penalty. Crucial play for the game. Don't know if you guys have seen the Instagram reels or the TikToks going around of like Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, like knowing it was kind of like seeing it as the ball was snapped and just putting his hands on his head. So I love to see that. That was great. And it was in real time. I didn't know it was an illegal formation. So seeing that flag, I assumed it was on us. And then having it come back was fantastic. I was so happy. So
it normally doesn't happen. Normally it's on us. First down, additional 5 yards per defensive hold, game lost. And
it's nice because it wasn't like a judgmental call, like by the ref. It was not like a ticky-tack holding or something stupid like that. It's like, okay, well, once the rule was explained to me, I understood it, and they definitely broke the rule, so we can't do that moving back. So love to see all that.
And that is exactly why we're very grateful that Mason Rudolph was at the helm, because that's something that would not have happened with Aaron Rodgers under center.
But let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to run for 25 yards either.
No, it's true.
But yeah, you're right, 100%. Okay, so to dive into the Bears offense a little bit, like I'd mentioned a little bit earlier, Caleb's stats, not perfect, but honestly, I'll take a stat line like this every game. So 54%, below NFL average, which is around 63%, I think, completion percentage, 239 yards, but 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He did have that fumble, which that, led directly to points. They scored on that play. He had a quarterback rating over 100 in this game, which is pretty cool. So I don't know. I thought, again, like, with any young quarterback, like Jay, I think you brought it up a couple weeks ago. Like, you watch, like, even like Jared Goff or like some of the better quarterbacks in the league, like they miss throws. It's not like every quarterback in the NFL is automatic every single throw. Sometimes quarterbacks are inaccurate, weather, wind, footing. There's all kinds of things that go into throws. So I don't think that he's had some inaccuracy, but I don't think it's anything to be super worried about at this point. But I do, I think that this is a nice game. This is kind of where I think we can reasonably expect him to be regularly. I don't think he's going to be your 300-yard, 5-touchdown guy. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe it will, but I don't think so. Like, I think this is a reasonable expectation. If this is like the floor, I think we're in a good spot because this is a good game. I'll take this these stats. Take them every day.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Of course.
No doubt. I think there's, if people want to jump on, he had the fumble where he was scrambling away and then that led to 7 points. I don't think that there needs to be an overreaction to that and too much of a negative light, because you're going to take the good with the bad with Caleb. 9 times out of 10, he can get out, extend the play. And that's kind of that number 1 overall pick kind of, player that he is. He's kind of the magician back there where he can kind of spin out of things, extend the play, find something ad lib. Josh Allen does that too, right? I mean, Jalen Hurts does that too. These are some of like MVP. Lamar Jackson does that too. Like these things can happen from time to time. So you take 3 touchdowns, you take him doing what he's able to do, and you take the other 7 plays during that game, 7, 8 a game, where he should be sacked or the play should be, the ball should be thrown away and he can extend a play. And that's you take the good with the bad. Not everything's you're not going to be batting 1,000 all every day.
And
go ahead, Drew.
On Jay's point to that, the one thing I just want to say is what I would like him to, I think I sent a text to you guys when that happened, is it's hard. Obviously, I'm not a quarterback in the NFL, but it's hard to identify who's coming after you, that's a top 5, maybe even top 3 defensive end in the league. If he's coming after you, don't try to do anything special. Like minimize the damage. Don't make it 100%. Maybe make it 50%. Even if you have to throw it away. Well, he was in the end zone, so you can't throw it away and get a safety. But even so, that would have been better than just 7 points of a strip sack touchdown. But that's what I would like to like. I feel like he's gotten a lot of confidence in making guys and picking up people's jock straps because he makes these guys look so bad that like a Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, all like the major guys, they're not going to let that happen. So the identification of knowing who's coming after you, if it's a nobody on the Vikings, yeah, pick up that guy's jock strap for sure, 100%, because he's going to miss and you're going to get a Chris Berman whap on it. So like, yeah. But yeah, TJ Watt, those big guys, they're not going to miss those opportunities.
Yeah. And also like Jay, just to kind of get off, they talk back to like what you were mentioning about how take what the good with the bad. I mean, if this was a trend, I'd say you could probably start worrying about it, but this is Caleb's like 6th turnover of the season. If you include fumbles and interceptions, like I couldn't be less worried about it. It took, like you said, like one of the top 2 or 3 defensive end players at his position in the league to get it. Like it's going to happen.
That's what TJ does. I mean, that is what he does. And we're not talking about, Caleb playing like Geno Smith or JJ McCarthy. He's playing like Caleb, and he does not turn the ball over frequently. No biggie.
Yeah, totally. One thing I do want to touch on though also is that coming into this game, we did think the Bears were going to have some opportunities against the Steelers' run defense. Never really felt like the run game got going. The run game was, I mean, Monungai actually got more rushes and way more yards. Drew, sorry. I know you had your I was going to say I know you had your Swift over.
Yeah,
so
I was going to touch on that because it seems like for an RB1 that DeAndre Swift is, after he fumbled that ball, it seemed like he was in the doghouse. Which is crazy for me to think that, like, yes, Monungai has come on, but if DeAndre Swift is healthy, he's still your lead dog. Yeah. And for that to be a really quick leash for him, it looked like Bieniemy was chewing him out on the sidelines. Like, he's still a veteran running back. Like, you would still get him his touches and still scheme for him, but it seemed like he got relegated to a really quick backup position there.
Yeah, it did.
And honestly, okay, I texted this to you guys in real time too. I didn't think Swift fumbled that ball. Like it felt like this officiating crew was very vulnerable to have their decision swayed by somebody complaining in their face or pointing or something, because it felt like a normal play. And then all of a sudden the Steelers have the ball, and then the refs talk for 5 minutes, and it seemed like they're both like, I don't got anything, you don't got anything. Well, they have the ball. First down, Pittsburgh. It's like, what? I don't know. That's not how this works. And then it was, I can't remember which came first, but it was very close after the Steelers clearly got that first down on 4th down, and they said that they didn't get it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They did that tush push, and they got it by a yard and a half. It wasn't even close, but they called it that they didn't. So the officiating was very weird in this game. It just felt like whoever was yelling the loudest was going to get the call, and it was weird.
And I think the mob bosses in Vegas were yelling quite loud in the ears of the refs. And then first down, nope. 4th down, fumble, nope. Yep, fumble.
It was hungry weird. Mouth gets food.
That's right.
Yeah, it was just weird. But the running game, Monungai, he was more efficient than Swift in his touches, but total, we're talking about I have the total listed later, but just not Swift. I think that might have also been more game plan specific, because it did feel like they had more success up the middle than they did on the outside, which is obviously more of a Monungai thing than it is a Swift thing. So I think that might be a reason for that as well, but the fumble didn't help. But conversely, with the running game, the passing game, like they talked about, Caleb's numbers were pretty good. The pass catchers, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at the top 4 receivers for the Bears, and it is just exactly what I expect to see for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. Like DJ Moore, 5 catches, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Colson Loveland, 4 catches, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Roma Dunze, 5 catches, 53 yards. Luther Burden, 3 catches, 46 yards. I want to see some mix of those 4 players. Maybe throw Cole Kmet in there as well as your top targets every single game. You know, Olamide Zaccheaus, you're a fine player. I don't want to see you on the score sheet anymore. I want to, I don't want to see Smythe or whatever his name is.
You don't want to see more of Durham Smythe?
Come on, dude.
No, I do not. I want to see this is what I want to see. I want to see the young, talented players. I mean, DJ Moore is not super young, but the other 3 young, talented futures of the team, I want to see them get their yards and, boot and start, move in the right direction. Cause that is like going into the season. Like, this is my dream. Like, this is like seeing these guys with all these catches, and nobody has a ton of yards because the ball was distributed so evenly between them, but seeing these guys all with multiple catches over 50 yards each. Well, Burden had 46, 3 touchdowns in the mix. Like, this is awesome. And I want this to be the case all the time.
I totally agree. I mean, it's hard not to agree with that, right? Because that is the dream. And if you can just chunk off 200 yards between those 4 guys every game, that's awesome. That is a problem for defenses to scheme against. My biggest kind of stat sheet win from those 4 was it was nice to see DJ back and get him back in the end zone and get him the ball some more and get him the yards, because he's been a little bit silent. We've been winning, so that's fine. But I've almost felt like bad. I was like, oh man, I want to get DJ like more. I don't want to lose that drive that DJ might have if he's not the alpha in the room or whatever. So it's nice to see him on the stat sheet. One other thing I wanted to call out, not a negative, but just a little bit of a concern, is I feel like Caleb and Rome just haven't had the chemistry in the last couple of weeks. And Rome's fine on the stat sheet, 3 for 53. But he had 9 targets, and it's like that's a really low catch to target ratio. And so I don't know what that. I haven't even overlooked like any of the film, but like just seeing that on the stat sheet seems a little bit, queasy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I know he had a drop. I know he had at least one of those. I can't picture his other targets off the top of my head, but. Yeah, I kind of have the same weird feeling in the back of my head where it just feels like Caleb and Rome are not quite where I thought they would be. Seeing a lot. I mean, the rise of Colson Loveland the past 3 or 4 weeks has been very fun to watch. And I think that's kind of getting a lot of, they have some kind of chemistry where it just feels like whenever there's a big 3rd down, Colson Loveland's kind of the guy, which if that's his role on this team, then I'm happy to take a 10th round, like a top 10 pick on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I kind of echo some of those concerns. And honestly, these are concerns that one good game from Roma Dunze will just put to bed.
And 100%.
It is there in the back of my mind, 100%. So,
and not to go overboard on this, but the Colson Loveland stuff, right? Rewind the clock like 2 months ago, and I was on my soapbox like, why are we taking a 10th overall pick? And it's a lovely thing to see when I can, be wrong. And if the outcome of being wrong is the Bears are a better team because of it, hell yes, I'll take that all day. I think there's still some merit in just overall a top 10 pick on a tight end, but he's a bad dude. And it's really nice to see that, and the arrow's pointing straight up for him, and that's really encouraging to see. And the last thing on arrows pointing up, it's like, all right, we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, DJ Moore, maybe the arrow's pointing down, Rome, the arrow's pointing down. But if someone's not involved in the game or doesn't look like they're having a good game from the receiving corps, someone else is, right? Yeah. And that's what keeps everything afloat in above water, and that's great to see. And that's the Ben Johnson offense that we're blessed to have.
And the mouths to feed, like we've talked about before, is a good problem to have. Too many mouths to feed. I like it because these are also younger guys that are still figuring out what you would think to be a role in the team or a role in Ben Johnson's offense. So it's nice to see that they're at least getting some run and some spread to where they're not getting fully discouraged. And it's like, oh, I'm never going to see the ball. Or, you get a big head. What I like is Luther Burden had a couple of drops the previous week, comes back, 3 catches, 46 yards, looks pedestrian, but it feels a lot better. And it was quick. It was quick into this game where he got started. So it feels like, okay, well, now they got to look out for Luther, and Luther now knows that he's got a place in this team for targets. So yeah, I mean, I love having too many mouths to feed in this offense because it means, like Jay said, that if somebody's having an off day, somebody's going to be having an on one for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, you look at the distribution of passes and targets and stuff, and I think that it kind of shows that this team, like Caleb, is not. We've talked about it last week. He's not zeroing in on anybody. He completed 19 passes to 8 receivers. Like those 4 we just talked about, where it kind of had the bulk of them. But you also had catches from Zacchaeus, Komet, Smythe, Swift had a catch. Like we're talking, we have 8 different players with receptions on 19 completions. It's just like you love to see that stuff. Like you can't, like I couldn't even tell you who 8 pass catchers were on the Bears last year. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there was DJ Moore and Rome and maybe DeAndre Swift and maybe Cole Kmet, but I don't know how many. You know what I mean? So having 8 people that can catch a pass in an NFL game, that's like uncharted territory for Bears fans on its own. And the fact that Caleb recognizes that he needs to spread the ball around and not just throw to the same guy, but to like, who is the scheme for, who's open, stuff like that. Finding the right guy. So that's awesome to see. Another thing that's actually awesome to see, I didn't even know this was happening until the game started. Theo Benedict was missed the game. He did not play this week with an injury. So the guy that we drafted in the second round, who we were begging for in training camp and preseason, and for seemingly couldn't tell why, never got any run. Ozzie Trapillo, he got a start at left tackle, and he thrived. He had one pressure, 0 sacks. I saw this statistic. Don't know what it means, but an 88.4 pro
PP or PFR.
Sure, it was pass pro effective rate. It's not.
Oh.
I don't know what that is, but 88.4 seems pretty good. So Ozzie Trapillo had a pretty nice game coming in. On top of that, Jonah Jackson left the game with an injury. Luke Newman, another, I think he was like a 5th or a 6th round guy out of Michigan State. He came in at guard, played. I don't have any numbers for him, but he seemed like he played fine. The offensive line never seemed overwhelmed, with the exception of that play where, TJ Watt got to Caleb. I guess what I'm trying to get at is if we're talking about Luther Burden having a nice game, Colson Loveland having a nice game, Ozzie Trapillo having a nice game, Luke Newman coming in and having a nice game. Were we a little hard on Ryan Poles? Did Ryan Poles actually draft players that can contribute in the NFL this season?
Yeah. I mean, he solved the offensive line. If you want to be super hard, it's like, well, it took 3 years to solve it, but you solve it, and then you have that core for a long time. That's awesome. Because Darnell Wright's mauling people. Our interior offensive line in pass protection and in run blocking, quite literally, the interior offensive line pass block win rates are 2 guards, center. All 3 of them are top 8 in the NFL. That's outrageous. So hats off, and rightfully so, right? If we're going to be hard critics on them, then hats off. I mean, that's unbelievable to go from the worst offensive line in football, I would argue, from last year to what looks like. I mean, you have Pro Bowl quality players at least 4 of the 5 offensive line positions. Amazing. And that's why the team's being successful.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. You get it done in the trenches. I don't know if I'm ready to just completely sign off like Jay.
Well, I still have my
Yeah.
I still have my issues with Foles. I'm John Kerry, dude.
But just more of a yes. He deserves a little bit of credit for solving a problem. I don't know if you're going to give him credit in the draft or more of that he went after a core of players that are solid and proven in the NFL. Then bring around some pieces to that to where they can breed success all together as a core, which we've been begging for since last year. So yeah, there is credit to give to Ryan Poles where it's due. I do think is more in the trade sector, the free agent signings than it is actually the draft. But some of these guys in the draft do look like they initially have some good stock. So you got to give him credit though. You got to give him credit because you don't get to 8-3 from two very sub 500 seasons by doing absolutely nothing. And he definitely got there.
All I'm saying is my initial reaction to the draft from this past year was pure terror and anger and displeasure. And we went tight end. We were like, just draft D lineman and O lineman, and we went tight end, wide receiver, and we did get Trapillo and whatnot. But it's like, oh my God, I was so scared, and I still am. But it's nice to see the crop starting to bloom and actually getting returns on rookies. Yeah. That's a new experience for the Bears.
Yes,
to have rookies actually contribute their rookie year. That's new.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most drafts, it's like even outside of the first and maybe the second round, but honestly, even them, you can probably throw into this statement I'm about to make as well. You hear them on draft night, you get a little excited in the preseason, then they just never hear their name again. It's just they're never out of the league.
Yeah.
But if Ozzie can be your starting left, we talked about this during the preseason. If Ozzie can be, like, obviously he played one game in the NFL. Let's not get crazy. He's not a Pro Bowler, but he played well in his first game in the NFL. So I don't think it's crazy to then say, like, okay, maybe this guy is your starting left tackle, right? If he played well in his first game, maybe he can become your starting left tackle. If you plug him in at starting left tackle, and even if this Luke Newman guy, who is a 5th round or a 6th round, I can't remember off the top of my head, if he becomes even like a swing guard, something like that, a depth piece that stays on your roster, gets a second contract on your roster, or becomes even like a starting guard if like Jonah Jackson gets hurt, or, Joe Thuney, he's not the youngest guy in the league, so he'll probably have to, but I don't want to think that far ahead. But, if Luke Newman as a 5th round pick can be your swing guard and you got Ozzie Trapillo, that's your starting left tackle, I think that's pretty solid drafting at the offensive line. We'll see. Again, this is one game. We're not going to get crazy about it, but it's just exciting to see, like you said, exciting to see your rookies develop. It just seems like the development is something that we've never seen before. Like the coaches don't know how to do that. And it seems like, give a lot of credit to Ben Johnson, but give a lot of credit to Ben Johnson's like staff, because I think that the coaching staff he assembled, we talked about at the time, this coaching staff he's assembled is like, I don't know. It's like the Avengers of coaching staffs. Like, I don't know what it is. Like these, like, it is like, I just felt like
awesome.
The coaching staff is so good. So got to give a lot of credit to the coaches. I think that they're developing these players pretty well. So,
you know what, I have to say it because I was like, I'm going through it. I know the running backs coach. I know the D-back coach, the quarterbacks coach. And I was like, who the fuck's our offensive coordinator?
No, it's
a 27-year-old kid. Yes, Doyle. Thank you.
Yeah, Declan Doyle. Who could forget?
Declan Doyle rules, dude.
Yeah. All right.
Nick, just a thing to echo on what you were saying and to get a little more depth into it is it's very nice to see unknown depth that we have. Like you have seen over the past couple of weeks, people come in, as you were touching on Luke Newman, even on the defensive side of the ball. Like you're so hurt, but you have people coming in that I didn't even know was on the squad, or a second, third piece. And it seems like you're still at a level of competing no matter what, that is so encouraging to see. because again, through 17 games of a season, you're going to have injuries, you're going to have problems, you're going to have people who can't play consistently. So that's something that I feel like we've never seen before. You see the first line go out and you're like, okay, well, shit. Okay, there goes 4 games because they're out.
Yeah.
So just so much encouragement to see in some unknowns that we're not expecting. And I'm sorry, like I can't provide more like actual like facts behind that because listeners, we are not used to this. We're in uncharted territory right now. So yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Nick, like what you were saying, and just to echo your point too, Drew, it's like this is speaking to the coaching staff where the Bears have had a lot of injuries in some critical positions this year on the defense. Our starting offensive left tackle, quote unquote, injured, just bad. I think they were like, all right, you got a broken something, get out of here. But our secondary's been decimated. Our linebacking core, we were 0-for-3 in our starting linebackers this past week.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really tell. And I know that the Steelers put up 28, and I know that they kind of ran all over the Bears to a certain degree. But the defense again looked fine, and it was that next man up mentality. You got Nahshon Wright stepping up. You have guys that's like C.J. Gardner-Johnson off the street. They're playing at I'm not going to say elite levels, but good NFL levels, like above replacement levels.
Yeah.
And that's something that is really encouraging. And I think we need to tip our hat to the coaching staff to get these guys fired up and get the most out of them. And that's amazing.
Well, Jay, it takes a village. So
it does. Yes, it does.
But yeah, to kind of get into we're going to go into the defense a little bit. So like you said, Jay, we obviously, TJ Edwards has not really played much this season, but Tremaine Edmonds goes to IR, which is a bummer this week. Cause I thought like Tremaine Edmonds, we have had our differences with his playing in the past, but this season we have been very vocal about how just unbelievable his turnaround has been this year, how I genuinely thought he was a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker this season, having an unbelievable season. Best as a Bear for sure. And to see him go on IR this late in the season definitely sucks. Hopefully he'll come back for the last few weeks of the season. So hope to get him back. But so TJ Edwards out, Tremaine Edmonds out, Noah Sewell out, and then Ruben Hippolyte, your rookie linebacker, he got injured in this game as well. Yep. So that's your starting your top 4 in the depth chart linebackers. On top of, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson also got hurt in this game. So that's your top 3 corners in this game. It's just the depth is crazy that the Bears had. Cause like we said, like we didn't go into this season thinking that we had a ton of depth at linebacker or defensive back. I didn't anyway. I thought the Bears had like a decent top like starters of those positions, but I don't think there's any depth there. And here we are. And we got players like Nahshon Wright, who continues to make play after play every single week. And again, I think what he's doing is he won't be in Chicago next year. I think he's paying. Yeah. He's going to get paid someone's going to pay him, and it's not going to be the Bears. And it sucks because I like him, but also good for him because he's definitely. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that dude's getting a bag somewhere. He's got.
Oh yeah.
He's got 5 interceptions. He's like leads the league in interceptions with him and Byard both have 5. That leads the league in interceptions right now.
It's amazingly cool that you said that because Rocky was texting me and Drew about that exact same thing. It's like, are we going to pay this guy? It's like I don't see how that's going to work out. Not to get too negative and too far ahead of ourselves, but like he's played at an amazing level, and he's got a nose for the ball, and it's awesome to see.
And to just hype on top of that is if we get healthy. One of the things that I'm confident about, Nick, you've said in the past, and we've talked about, like he goes back to a depth corner. I don't even know right now if you do, because you're so hot, you kind of have to roll with the hot hand in what you need in taking the ball away is what you need for this defense to run, and the kid surely knows how to take the ball away. So, if you get fully healthy, you got to find a way to get him in the mix of the game. You cannot relegate him back to the bench. unless it's some form of conspiracy to hopefully relegate him back to the bench where somebody's not going to pay him as much, and then he'll be able to re-sign him the next year.
That's a tinfoil hat situation.
Yeah,
I know that's like a joke, but like I think that it's too late for that. Even if that was the case, right?
Yeah.
5 interceptions on the season.
Turnovers mean money in the NFL, and he's going to get paid for it. I did say to in that chat with Jay and Rocky is it does have a little bit of, although this game it seemed like he had some tackles that should have been made and were there that I saw him stand out a little bit more. It does have a little bit of a feel of like a Trayvon Diggs, a lot of takeaways, and then your next couple of seasons you see him getting burned because he's going for those takeaways.
Yeah.
You don't like to see that happen to cornerbacks, but he also is 27 years old. So it's not like he's 22, 23 and having this much success.
That's true.
And it goes to his head real quick. But good for Nahshon, for sure.
I believe we call that the Nathan Vasher syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah. To go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I can say that because I was at the game where Steve Smith personally tortured.
Who was Alabama? Eddie Jackson.
Eddie Jackson. He's another one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But speaking of the defense, one other thing I want to touch on, because we talked about the depth, talked about Nahshon Wright with another unbelievable interception. Montez Sweat made up for not showing up, not having a sack last week and having a streak end. Had 2 sacks this week. One was a forced fumble that the Bears recovered. So it does seem like it was, could easily write off last week as Montez Sweat coming back to earth. And then this week he had another very good game. So I think Montez Sweat hopefully continues this pace up. Going to need it down the stretch from him. So love to see it. Love to see your highest paid defensive player, people, or someone that we thought was the best defensive player on the team, showing up and making plays. So I love that.
Yeah, the question I have for you guys: healthy or not healthy right now, playing as well as he's playing, is Montez Sweat the best defensive player that the Chicago Bears have on their team?
You're saying healthy, like only healthy players?
Even if everyone was healthy.
Jalen Johnson's pretty fucking good.
I get that. We haven't seen him, but yeah, and you'd have to say that. But you gotta say probably. Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson are 1-2 right now.
Nahshon Wright.
Am I crazy if I'm putting Kevin Byard in there too, though?
No, I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
Because not only does he obviously lead the league in interceptions, but he is a old school strong safety that can make tackles and play in the box and all that stuff too. So I like that a lot.
Tremaine was up there. We just mentioned him. Tremaine has been playing out of his mind. Like he's healthy. That's crazy to see right now. I think the 670 was having a conversation about this right now. You give your top 5 defenders, healthy or not healthy, on the Bears right now, and maybe 3 of them are injured right now. So you're saying you get fully healthy, and this is a defense that helps to make this offense and make us more of a full team that can compete even more than what it is right now. Now, Is that going to happen overnight? No, but it just goes to show you what we have, and that's so encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we might be getting a couple of guys back.
Yeah, I was actually just looking that up. Do you guys have any updates on that for this week?
Practice, I think they held.
Yeah, Jalen and Kyler both were full participants in practice. So fingers crossed. That's the only if not this week, then soon, right?
Yeah, honestly, because they both participated in practice last week. So my understanding was that they didn't play last week so they could play in this game,
right?
Like with the short turnaround. That was kind of what I was expecting. And then you get the long, kind of mini bye this week. You have the extra couple of days rest in between games. Thought that would be a good starting game back for them. So that's kind of where my head went to. But if not this game, I think definitely next week, right? Because you'll have an entire, extra 2 days of rest between games, and even if you don't play, so that'd be great. I mean, honestly, the reinforcements coming in, I think, would be really helpful for this defense, Drew. To kind of echo your point, I also think that like the way the defense is played kind of made it very obvious that like this offseason, not to get super ahead of ourselves, but like this offseason, I think if you can get most of your core back, you're just like a couple interior defensive linemen away from like, and maybe obviously an opposite pass rusher away from being like a pretty good defense.
Yeah. And that makes you a pretty good team, which
yeah,
is
because if you can reasonably expect that under 1 year of Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams looks like a different guy than he did last year. And then if he takes another step forward next year, which I think is reasonable to expect, you pair that with another defensive end opposite Montez Sweat and maybe like a difference maker inside with Gervin Dexter. I think he got a pretty good defense.
Yeah, I hate to say it, and I hate to say it because it makes me scared.
Yeah, right.
But like it really is true.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I don't know. I think time will tell. But I think the defense is getting like this defense that played against the Steelers on Sunday is not the same defense that got torched by the Lions in week 2. This is a better defense. Dennis Allen's scheme is really sticking with these guys. They're putting it together. They're not a good defense. I don't think they're a good. I think they're right in the middle, right where they belong. Maybe towards the bottom of the middle. You know what I mean? But I think that's good enough. I really do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But we're going to talk a little bit more about one particular game the Bears have left. But the Bears do still have the hardest remaining schedule in the league. Bears are going up again. They have Packers twice, the Lions once, the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Browns. So we get a Browns game thrown in there just to kind of make us not completely lose our minds. But man, that's a gauntlet coming up. It's a gauntlet. So, hopefully these defensive players can come back and get healthy because we're going to need all the help we can get these next 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, hey, this is the test.
Yeah. 100%.
This is the test. If you should be and the nice part about this, Drew, I think you said this on one of the text chains when we were going kind of crazy, but like if you can split and go 3-3 or stay in the mix, because everyone you're playing, 5 of these 6 teams that we're going to be playing coming up are they're playoff contenders, right? They're going to be in the playoffs, or you're fighting for that last spot or somewhere around that realm, right? And if you can stay competitive with that, like the sky's the limit in the playoffs. Anything is possible at that point. But like I'm less scared than I was a couple of weeks ago of saying, okay, here's the gauntlet. What are we going to do? Now this is actually kind of fun. Are we good? How good are we? This is the road. Walk the path in front of you. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the adage of being 0-0, everyone's 0-0 going into the playoffs. You can get there through this gauntlet here. Most of those people would be a team that you are going to either play in week 1 of the playoffs or week 2 potentially. So none of them would be particularly scary to me, especially if you get into the playoffs, because it's win in advance, survive in advance. Yeah. In the way that we've been playing these 1-score games and these games that the playoffs normally come down to of finishing a game, we've been successful in. So I'm not concerned about anything more than just this next 6-game stretch, 5-game stretch, really, because the Browns are the Browns. But
sugar though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right there.
But
but yeah.
No, for sure. We'll see how these next 6 games go. A lot of things to come, but we're going to talk more Eagles later in the show, so stick around for that. But yeah, it's just you're right, Jay. This is fun. We get to see what we're really made of the next 6 weeks. So buckle in, I guess. It's going to be fun, hopefully. So before I want to dive into, I want to go around the league a little bit really quick, but I do want to grade this game out. So same as always, let's do offense, defense, offense, defense, and overall. Drew, why don't you go ahead and kick off your grades?
Sure. it's hard to give an offense anything less than a B when you score 31 points. There were some sloppy times. There were some times where it felt like should have done a lot more, but I'm going just with a straight B because you scored 31 points in an NFL football game and you should be winning just about the more successful clip of those 70% of the time, I'd say. So a little bit higher. That's a C, but a little bit higher than that. I'm going with a B. If you can copy and paste that offense on a weekly basis against every team in the NFL, you're going to have success. So solid B there. Defense, Nick, you touched on it earlier. Jay, you touched on it earlier. It felt like the real points given up weren't actually the points that the defense gave up. So I'm also going to put them in the B category, but go with a B minus. Still took the ball away. Didn't win the takeaway battle this week, but it seemed like it was a little sloppy ball handling on the offensive side because of that, not because we were taking the ball away on the defensive side. So B minus there. Special teams, there wasn't a lot of special teams stuff going on other than the fact that I didn't see the Pittsburgh Steelers special teams coach on the television, and that made me happy. I hate that guy, whoever that guy is. Just don't need that old guy on. Overall, with the combination of coaching and offense, defense, I'm just going with just a regular B with the Bears. Was it a game you were supposed to win? Yes. I would have loved to see a blowout, but this is just continuing the pace of what the Chicago Bears have done this season, and that's been successful, and I will take that every week.
Yeah. Jay, why don't you go ahead?
I'm on a very similar wavelength, Drew. Offense B plus, 31 points. Keep that simple enough. Defense B minus. I'm not going to dock them for 28 points. I don't think that was a real 28 points that they gave up. Obviously, they kind of gave up 21. Overall, a B. I'd love to get in that A range. There's still this lingering fear of like, wow, how are we stringing together these wins? There's some inefficiencies here and there, but wins are wins. Are we getting a little bit lucky that we're playing some backup quarterbacks? Sure. But wins are wins. B's are B's. So B.
Yeah. I'm going to give the Bears offense a B plus as well. Just 31 points. Caleb was not super efficient, but he was he definitely got the job done out there. Pass catchers, not a ton of drops. Really maximized. Didn't settle for field goals, put in the end zone. 31 points again. That's a B plus to me. And then I'm going to give the defense, I'm going to give them a solid B because they gave up some yards. They gave up some points. Obviously, like I said before, 7 of those came on like the trick play that they actually gave up. But the Bears got 2 sacks. They took the ball away 2 times. And they held them on the last drive when the Steelers, all they had to do was get in field goal range with a really good kicker, and they didn't even give them an opportunity to kick the field goal. So I'm going to give the total game, I'm going to give it a B+, I think. I thought it was a really good game for the Bears. Still lots of work, still lots to build on. I don't think it was an A game. I don't think we've seen an A game with the exception of maybe the Cowboys this season. So, again, I think this is a scary team once they put it all together and can actually have an A game. So, but yeah, that's the grades. That's Bears Steelers. So let's talk a little bit around the league. Jay, I'll kick it over to you. Why don't you take us around the league?
That sounds like a plan. I might hit this a little bit quickly, gentlemen, if that's cool. But I want to focus specifically on the playoff picture and the teams there. So the Bears get a win. They're 8-3. Holy crap. Everything is great, right? It couldn't be a better start. It couldn't be a better first 11 games. If you said, Jason, Nick, Drew, will you take 8-3 after 11 games before the season? I would have cut off my left hand for an 8-3 start. So we couldn't be doing any better. However, 7 playoff spots, 8 teams in the mix. The Bears are in a difficult division, and we didn't really get any help in that kind of playoff jockeying this week. Right? We'll stay on our division first. The Packers beat the Vikings, led by 9 by I can't get through without laughing. Because I don't even want to talk about the game. The Packers decimated the Vikings. The Vikings were terrible. JJ McCarthy, aka 9, even worse. 9 sacks. The memes going around the league and everything and online is just too much fun. One of my favorite pictures of all of sports, but certainly within this year of NFL, is Micah Parsons just folding up JJ McCarthy like a toddler in a like a lawn chair, like a toddler. And it's like, this guy really does suck. And it makes me feel great that we all called that JJ McCarthy was going to be shit.
Yeah.
And granted, it's only 6 games, but it's hard to have a worse 6 games. Drew, who did you say PMT was comparing him to through his first 6 games?
He is, of the quarterbacks drafted in the first round, 581 quarterbacks. I'm sorry, 582. He is 581 ranked, and they were comparing stats to him and Jamarcus Russell for their first 6 games.
Yeah.
Bust.
You don't love being compared to like the guy who, when you Google like NFL draft bust, like shows up. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess
Jamarcus Russell
the
was
only
the
thing
guy.
you could say to that is Jamarcus Russell was at least drafted number 1 overall.
Yeah.
And JJ was drafted significantly further down than that, but
He was not. I mean, he's 10. It wasn't that far.
Yeah.
It wasn't that far down.
not significantly, but it was down.
Yeah, for sure. It's not number 1 overall, for
Correct,
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Boy,
but
yeah.
the jokes aside, unfortunately, the Packers stack up another win and keep things tight, as do the Lions. And this one, I really thought, I was watching that game.
Yeah.
It was so close. The Giants really could have done us such a big favor. We would have been drastically in better shape for the playoff picture with a loss for the Lions. But the Lions came back. They beat the lowly Giants in overtime. Jameis tried his heart out to help us out, but lo and behold, it didn't work out. So the Lions still remain as the 8th seed in the NFC somehow, and we got some heavy hitters that are kind of lurking. So although the Bears they're a 3rd in the NFC right now, it's like who's nipping at your heels? It's the Packers, it's the 49ers, it's the Lions. So with the rest of the season in front of us, those are the teams we have to beat. It's very simple, very clear, and that's going to tell the tale if we get into the playoffs or not. Anything that you guys wanted to call out about those 2 games?
I don't know if you guys were watching. There were some questionable calls by the Giants, by New York's coaching staff, and teams that, like, near the end of the game, they passed twice to allow the Lions like an additional couple of plays. It was just weird. And even Malik Neighbors tweeted out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that. Like, then, like, what are we doing? Like, what is this organization doing? Granted, the organization is in shambles.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't have a head coach. They don't know what they're doing, but just got a feel of like you get in your moment of like, oh yeah, the script is here. We're trying to screw over the Bears or something like that. But then you also then turn around and you're like, oh wait, it's the New York Giants.
I was gonna say
that shit should happen no matter what.
If the Giants could do that stuff on purpose, they'd be a better team. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfectly said.
Business as usual.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Kafka, first time. I mean, I don't know if he's a first time play caller. I don't know how many times. I don't know how often he called the plays when Dable was still there. But first time head coach, a lot more responsibility with the head coach than just calling plays. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Giants are just going to have whoever the Rams offensive coordinator is this year as their head coach next year, and he probably won't work. That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. It would have been nice. It was so close so far. So we'll keep it in the playoff race to Monday Night Football last night. The 49ers took care of business against the Panthers. And honestly, what was a winnable game. It was a losable game, I should say, for the 49ers. In the first half, Brock Purdy came back and threw 3 interceptions, and it was like, oh man, that was ripe for the taking. A nice little upset would have been quite nice, but the Panthers were coming into that game at 6-5 as absolute frauds. I mean, that's a bad football team.
Yeah.
And they lost that game because they were just very bad. So, we don't gain ground, but on the positive side, the Bears don't lose ground. They did what they needed to do, get that win against the Steelers. A couple other games that I wanted to throw out there too. Chiefs-Colts, hell of a game. The Chiefs fighting for their playoff lives against a very scrappy, very good Colts team. And they came back and got a win in overtime too. So their playoff chances are still alive. Huge game for them. They did cover 3.5. Nick, congrats on that. Great call.
Yes,
we'll get to that in a little bit too. That ties in nicely to a nice little celebration. We'll pop some champagne in a little bit as a little bit of a teaser. But that was the Chiefs are going to have a tough road. They got a tough road ahead. At Dallas on the road next weekend, everything's kind of must win for them, and they got to string up the wins, and they did so. And that was a very entertaining game. Yeah. And then I wanted to end with Rams put a beat down on the Bucs, and everything went wrong for the Bucs in that game, and they're clinging on to their lives now because you had the MVP darling in Baker Mayfield has just crashed down to earth, and he also crashed down to earth throwing a Hail Mary and injured his shoulder, a self-injured shoulder, just trying to throw the hell out of the football, and then that was really worst case scenario. So Rams are looking like cream of the crop in that NFC, potentially the NFL, some would say. And I'll tell you what, I had a thought and I lost it. So let's move on to another section in the interest of time. My apologies, boys. I had a thought and then I lost it.
That's all right. That's all right. So just so not a ton of major injuries this week, but I will say T. Higgins concussion, that not that the Bengals are anything this year, but that has fantasy relevance. And then Baker Mayfield, like Jay just said, shoulder injury. I haven't seen a timetable on his return if he's going to play this week, but I would bet not, because it looked like he was just dangling there. So it's not a good sign. It wasn't his throwing shoulder. I believe it was his left shoulder, but still not a good sign when you see that. One other thing I want to touch on, because it kind of ties to the game we're playing next week. Philadelphia went up 21-0 quick on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys came storming all the way back to beat the Eagles. I think it was 24-21. So that was a wild game. I don't know if you caught that at all, but that was wild.
Yes, thank you, Nick. That is what I wanted to bring up, because I had Cowboys +3, and I think I texted you guys as well. That was the worst bet of all time, down 21 points immediately. A miracle.
Yeah. But yeah.
Guys, really quickly, sorry to digress here. Luka Doncic is about to score 30 points in the first quarter of this basketball game. It's unreal.
That's fantastic.
But, sorry, watching that.
Did you put a little something on Luka?
Yeah, a little dabble, a little dabble.
Sure.
Cowboys. So we will talk about Philadelphia and what's going on in Philadelphia in a minute, but the Cowboys, are we thinking that the Cowboys are getting into that playoff mix? Like, I mean, is it too early to say that? Do they still need to do a couple more things? We're going to see them in 2 days on Thanksgiving. Who are they playing? The Giants?
They got the Chiefs.
They play the Chiefs.
Oh, they're playing. Yeah, the Giants, Chiefs. Same
thing.
What are you talking about? Same difference. But it's still, if they win that game at home, we talking about the Cowboys being in the run for the playoffs?
I'm not.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to get back in there, but I think that this game on Thanksgiving in Dallas is an elimination game. Whoever loses that game, I think they're done. They don't have a chance in the playoffs.
I agree with you, and that's tough sledding, but that NFC playoff picture at the top is so difficult to kind of merge into. You have to have the Bears and another team drop out and lose 3 in a row, and I think that's
that other team. And that other team can't be the Bucs, because the Bucs are going to win the NFC South.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, the Panthers aren't doing anything. So
they're not capturing their division because Philadelphia has created too much too much distance.
Yeah.
Like in that goes to show you, like in the NFC with the West, there's too much distance.
Yeah.
The North, there's just distance in general
teams, yeah.
amongst the wild card. But yeah.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, they can go on a heater, but it's a tough road. That's going to be a tough road.
Yeah, I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, but they have the offense to do it, and their defense is playing a lot better. So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So with that all being said, unless there's more to go around the league, nope. Okay, you guys want to jump? We'll jump into our podium list then. We're going to do a fun podium list. It's going to be a little more personal, I think, but we're going to just kind of talk through some of our favorite holiday traditions on the podcast. So some of our favorite holiday traditions. Excuse me. But before we do that, Barely Qualified podium list is proudly fueled by the fizz of Glen Rock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival, crafted with pure cane sugar poured into classic glass bottles and bursting with nostalgic flavor. Glen Rock is more than a drink. It's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange, cream soda, or my personal MVP, the all-new lime, Glen Rock is bringing joy back to every corner of Lake County. You want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Follow Glen Rock Pop on Facebook for the latest event stops. Ready to stock up? Head to glenrockpop.com to find retailers near you. From tailgates to game days, Glen Rock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink, celebrate. So, with that being said, we're going to dive straight into our podium list. We're going to talk favorite holiday traditions. I have made the order. I have to pull it up because I don't know where it went. Hold on. It's going to go Drew, Nick, Jay in the first round. Then it's going to go Nick, Jay, Drew in the second round. And it's going to go Jay, Drew, Nick in the bronze. Sorry. So, with that being said, Drew, I'm going to kick it over to you, and you can kick us off with your gold pick for your favorite holiday tradition.
And just for a clarification, I don't think I clarified this with you at the beginning, Nick. This is holiday traditions, just any holiday, or are we just mainly sticking towards Thanksgiving, Christmas, getting into that season?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. The idea behind this was like the holiday season, like the Thanksgiving into Christmas.
Okay.
The idea was, people like to do things the weekend after Thanksgiving for Christmas. Thanksgiving is right up, so like this kind of time of year. But like if you want to take a 4th of July tradition, like more power to you, whatever you want.
I was mainly sticking towards the back end of the year anyway. It wasn't like I wanted to extend it out to the full year. Just wanted to see if you were more sticking towards the most recent upcoming holiday this week. But okay, awesome. So I think number one overall, it's hard for me to ignore the holiday tradition of watching holiday movies. Period. I know that's kind of a bland, like I didn't necessarily have like watching a specific movie on this time or that time. I think just holiday movies in general for me, Jenny and I will stream as soon as I think we started actually most recently, although we're doing our third run through the Harry Potter movies. We started watching some of the Hallmark and Netflix Christmas rom-coms, just to kind of kick off the season this past weekend. And it just kind of brings you those extra feels. But then when you get into the Home Alones, the How the Grinch Stole Christmases, those movies really get your feels, your holiday feels going more than anything else, at least for me. So just watching holiday movies is number one overall for me, for sure.
Yeah, I love that pick. I had a feeling you were going that way because I know you're the holiday movie guy. The next month of today is this November 25th. A month from today is Christmas. The next month will be just a lot of Christmas movies being watched. I do have to shout you out, Drew, because last year we did a podium list of just best holiday movies. You mentioned the movie Klaus.
Yep.
Which I have started watching which I watched last year with my family. Absolutely loved it. It's a all-timer that's in the rotation for sure now. Probably deep part of the rotation. Like that's probably like a mid December to early 21st, 22nd type.
Yeah.
That's a deep one. So that's a great one.
Klaus
I'm
will
looking
have you
forward
in
to.
your feels.
It's a great
It'll
movie.
have you in your feels big time.
So shout out to Drew for that. But anyway, great pick, Drew. I definitely agree that is that's one of my favorite holiday traditions as well. Just watching holiday movies. All right. So I'm silver, or I'm second in the gold round, I should say. So my first pick is going to be simply this is something that I did with my parents when I was a kid, and it has transferred over to me passing on, like doing with my wife and kids and my family now. It is putting up the Christmas tree and decorating the house the day after Thanksgiving. So specifically that Black Friday, putting up the Christmas tree, doing all that fun stuff, getting the lights up. Turn the lights on for the first time, I should say, because I did put my lights up last weekend because it was 50 degrees and I wanted to get that done when it was warm. But I haven't turned them on yet. So Friday will be day one of the lights on. We'll have the tree up, all that fun stuff. So just putting the tree up, I'll say, is kind of the main thing. But decorating for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, home run pick there. Also, a completely seasoned vet move to put up the lights, not turn them on, but put up the lights during the warm part of the year. Yeah. I did that last year, and I couldn't have told more people about it. I was so proud of that. That was the first time I'd ever done that, and I was like, "This is how it
This is the first time I've ever done it, and I'm gonna do it again in the future."
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gold.
My gold is big Barb Maxwell tradition. And we've kind of done that. So we will have my mom over or go over to my mom's house in the last couple of years, especially with the kids, because they love to do it. But it's just Christmas cookie baking and decorating. And what we do is the kids help with making stuff to their ability, but they're the decorators, right? And so we get Tessa, we get Georgia, they get some icing, and it doesn't matter. Do whatever the hell you want. Have some fun with it. Get messy, make a mess, have some fun, smiles from ear to ear. It's absolutely electric. So that is, for me, my favorite. I look forward to it. And it's a nice way to see the family as well, and just kind of keep those traditions alive. My mom always, it's a simple cookie recipe, but she's been doing it since I was, before I was born. So it's fun to be able to pass those kind of things along. The recipes, the handwritten recipes, I have that. I'll pass that down to the kids. Gotta love it. That's what the holidays are all about. So, decorating the cookies.
Yeah. Great pick. Love the pick. My wife, her mom does the same thing with all the grandkids, has one day in December where all the grandkids come over and they all bake cookies and decorate them. It's an absolute home run of a pick. It's just, kids love it. Grandma loves it.
Yep.
And I love it because the kids are out of the house for a couple hours on a Sunday.
Slam dunk. So. Trifecta, some would say.
But yeah, that's a great pick. I love that.
I feel like cookie exchanges have gone by the wayside. Maybe it was like COVID or something like that, but like now it's like you go over to someone's house and you bake it all there versus bake at home, bring them cookie exchange. Jenny does that at work here or there, but you gotta love a good Christmas cookie.
Absolutely.
It does the heart good, the body good.
And there's a lot of good recipes to choose from too. I mean, no losers.
No, absolutely not.
We could do a podium list of favorite Christmas.
We could. Maybe we're onto something there.
We
might be onto something.
Ready for it.
Put them on the list.
I tell you, Pizzelle will be on there for me.
I don't know what that is, but yes, I love
sounds good. I will try it. Yes. All right. So we're gonna go on to silver. I'm gonna kick off the silver. I'm gonna take a one that I will be doing in 2 days, which I am very excited about, and that is nestling up on my relative's couch. In this case, it's my sister's house is hosting Thanksgiving. Usually, it's my up until recently, it's my grandparents' house my whole life. So we'll be nestling up on a family member's couch with a couple of beers and just watching football and sweating out bets in the downstairs while everybody else is upstairs talking about God knows what. So I think that's a tradition unlike any other. Just sweating out your bets on Thanksgiving, having someone that doesn't really maybe like watches football, but like doesn't really watch football, like come in like, oh, what's the score? And like, I need the Bears to like score now, or the Steelers can't, or the Eagles can't score more than 22 point, whatever the case may be. Watching people's like brains just kind of like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Or like
I have the Bears plus 13. No one knows it. Yeah, we can turn the game off and watch the parade. If you touch the clicker, I'll kill you. Okay?
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
nobody will know other than the people that see that
Yeah.
I have extreme anxiety around you right now. Get away from me.
Yeah. And I tell this. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Nick, I think that has supplanted the tryptophan nap for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like the post dinner chase is now replaced.
Yeah.
The post dinner chase has now replaced the tryptophan nap for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of my favorite stories to tell. I went to my father-in-law. I went to Kate's dad's house for Thanksgiving. This is probably like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't know. It was somewhere in that time frame. I think it was before we had kids, but maybe it was whatever. It doesn't matter. We go over there for Thanksgiving, and Bears were playing the Lions that particular year on Thanksgiving. Neither team were very good, so it was before like the Dan Campbell Lions, but it was still a fun, want to watch the Bears game on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving started at 2:00. Game was in like the third quarter when I got there. My father-in-law, he paused the game at the start so that we could watch the whole game all together without so we were like fast forwarding through commercials, which was annoying, but I was like, nice gesture, that's fine. I was watching the scores on my phone, so I knew where I was. And then as the Bears were up by like 4, the Lions are driving in like the last minute of the game. Somebody asked what the weather was supposed to be this weekend. Father-in-law changed the channel to the weather channel, went back, and we were 20 minutes into the post because we were so far behind. So we didn't see the end of the game. It was very frustrating, but Bears did win that game, which is kind of fun. But anyway,
Was that the Lions game when DeAndre Swift dropped the pass?
Was that a Thanksgiving game?
Yeah, it was.
That might have been it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It might have been, but I'll never know because I didn't see it. But anyway, so yeah, just give me the post dinner chase. I'll take that for my pick, and then I'll kick it over to Jay for your silver.
Sweet. No, I mean, great pick. I had that actually. That was very high up on the board for me. I should have picked it in the gold because it is hard to beat just a full slate of games on Thanksgiving. I'm going to stick in the Thanksgiving realm, and I'm going to say enjoying some libations while cooking / doing dishes on Thanksgiving is an all-time move. And you can take that with like a cousin's walk if you want, and do whatever you do on a cousin's walk. Have a little, air that's a little bit cloudy, whatever you want to do. But that's a tradition unlike any other in my mind too, because that's just a fantastic time. You wake up, maybe have a mimosa, a cocktail, start working on the stuffing and the mashed potatoes, and before you know it, football's on, and you're a little bit buzzed, and you're having a great time. So that for me is always a good tradition. When I was younger in my 20s, I would always go over to my parents' place, single J. And so it was just me and my parents, and we would just have a nice little cocktail. My dad and I would play some backgammon, do some cooking, and get a little buzz on. And it was a great time. So I don't know, simple, but important.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jay, I think I think you brought up the Cousins walk last year that we had on this show, and I would still love to partake in the Cousins walk at some point in my life. But yes, there's something about just being around a group of people when you're celebrating a holiday and just acceptedly like, hey, I'm just gonna pour a drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
airport
what do you got
rules.
there?
Airport rules.
That sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 'Tis the season.
Yeah. Oh, why am I so tired? It's the tryptophan. It's the tryptophan. 7 deep. It's noon.
Oh man. All right. So then I'll wrap up silver. Silver for me. It's gonna get to I wouldn't say it's a religious thing. It's just, for me, it's not a religious thing, but I know it has some religious symbology to it. I love going over to my parents every year and setting out luminarias.
Great pick.
I am a sucker for that, and seeing all of just the lights down. Nick, I don't know if I don't know if Lake Forest is big on luminarias, but like they sell them everywhere around our suburbs here, and I just love seeing and doing the lighting up of putting out. It's such a simple concept. You put out some brown bags, some sand, and some candles, and you light them all up. But there's something about going through my younger years and now my older years of walking out. Yeah, we're gonna have a libation. Whoops. We're gonna grab a beer and go outside in the cold, the absolute cold, and put out those bags and light them all while we talk about what's going on and what we got for Christmas. But yeah, luminarias, setting those out, that's a big one for me. That's a big tradition, and had to get it on this list for me.
Yeah, I feel like that, Drew, the town where we grew up in Clarendon Hills was outstanding at that. And it was really fun to see when the sun would go down and everyone's driveway and in front walkway was just kind of lit up with those brown paper bags. They're very cool. I love that. That's something that I would do with my dad and my brothers too, right? And it was just like, hey, we're getting dressed up. We're going to give mom some space without the kids in the house for an hour. Yep. And we're just going to burn. And then we would always try to light the bags on fire. My dad would do, what the fuck are you doing?
That's what would happen. Yeah. Yeah.
That is a tradition I'm not familiar with, but that sounds cool though. I dig that. I'm all for it, but that sounds awesome. Little religious there, Nick, but I didn't take it as much as the religious as it was like just a bonding activity. With the old man or the people that were doing it. So no, definitely. I think that plays for sure. Okay. So bronze, Jay, I think you're leading us off with bronze.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take one that I still love to this day, especially with kids now. And it's visiting Santa. It's just a simple visit Santa situation. There was nothing like it when you were a kid, obviously. And when we had the malls and everything, and that was a whole event, and you'd kind of make a day out of it. You picture cry if you're me. And I pass that down genetically to my children because we haven't had a visit of Santa where one or both of my kids have not just been screaming and scared of who's this booze-soaked man that I don't know. So we've got some winners in the photo collection. I'll send some of those out to you guys too because they really are winners. They're so much fun. But you know, the last couple of years we've been doing Bass Pro Shop, which is hilarious. And it's fantastic, and it's free. But they do it very well. I gotta tip my hat to them. They do it very, very well. And they got a whole little section where you can kind of run through and play with some games and some arcade games and pass the time while you're waiting for Santa. And at this, like, you just have a timed entrance. It's like, get here at 3:06. Get in there. But I do love that. So, and it's fun to see the kids do that too.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Great pick. My kids are weird. Yeah, my kids are like afraid of Santa. Like not just like they'll cry at the mall Santa or whatever, but they like legitimately are terrified of Santa. So Christmas is kind of a weird it's like there's a lot of good stuff, but there's some things that like, oh, this is supposed to be fun. Why are you screaming so much? Stuff situation. So
I will say I might have my first endeavor of being Santa this year. At the club. Our Santa last year, it was his last year retiring. So might have to step up to the plate for that. So be a very interesting. I feel like I'm not in my Santa age just yet, but at the same time could channel that joy it brought. But every kid has to see Santa.
You will knock that out of the park. if and when you do that.
You're made for that. I, on the other hand, I've been terrified of the idea that eventually I'm going to be tapped to like be the Santa. I have been kind of giving off Santa vibes for the past like 10 years or so. So I need to like, I've been hoping that I don't get that call, but I will do it if I get asked. I don't want to do it. I am
Just a holly jolly man right over there.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Can I do a quick Santa story really quick?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So my oldest brother and his family used to have my brother's father-in-law. So my brother's wife's dad was Santa, and my nieces, when my oldest niece, when she was about 7 or 8, we were all there doing a big family gathering at my brother's house, and my brother's father-in-law came in as Santa, and my niece was like, "Grandpa?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this one." The awkwardness, I was like, I can't even be in the room to see how this plays out because I don't want to. I had so much like anxiety and just like secondhand embarrassment. Like, I cannot see how this plays out. But
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
That'll happen.
Yep.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, Drew, I think you are up for bronze.
All right. I semi lost my train of thought. I thought I had a good one, but trying to get back to it. Where did I go? Oh, yes. How could I forget about this? This is a very personal thing for me, and it hits on Jay, but Nick, I will expand it to you this year and the coming years. Is every Thanksgiving I send out a Thanksgiving text to a group of our friends, either the butt buddies or just a greater group of some form of thankfulness of the year or the tales of the year that have gone. And I try to make it rhyme. I try to make it stupid. I try to make it inclusatory in some way, shape, or form. But that's a tradition that I've been doing, God, I think for at least 10-ish, maybe plus years now. I think more than that, actually, maybe since we were in college. So I love doing that, just connecting with as many people as I can and bringing people together and saying how thankful I am for friendships and the happenings through the year and reflecting on all of those. So I don't know how you put that down, Nick. It's just more of just kind of like a text connection on Thanksgiving for me, and giving a message out to all the people that deserve to be recognized. So, yeah.
Drew, those are legendary. Absolutely love them. Something to look forward to every Thanksgiving. And if the shot clock is running down and we get to 3 p.m. and we don't get it,
oh yeah,
the wolves are hungry. The wolves
gonna be done.
Oh, that's great. I love that a lot. I just like the whole spirit of Thanksgiving all kind of personified there. So I think that's awesome. Yeah, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my last pick, and then we're gonna kick it over to the next half of the show. So my last pick. This is something that I've loved doing since I was a kid. I love doing it. I loved doing it before I had kids. I still love doing it even more so now with the kids. And that is taking a family, just like it's a random Tuesday night, got nothing going on. Hey, let's go pile in the car. Let's go look at Christmas lights. Let's go drive around and take a look at the Christmas decorations that are in the neighborhood or in other neighborhoods. Or, sometimes there's even stuff posts on social medias about cool houses in the area that has like light shows or whatever. So just just going out and looking at the Christmas decorations with the kids. Usually got 93.9 or whatever the light FM, the Christmas station, playing while we're doing that. It's just a really fun night. So I'm just going to take driving around looking at Christmas decorations as my last one because I love doing it.
Nick, I didn't even have that written down, but that's such an excellent pick. It really is. I mean, my family did that so much growing up.
Yeah.
I think it's because we had 6 people in the family, and it was free as hell,
Yeah.
but it was something that was like quintessential to my family growing up. We did that every year, and it was awesome.
Yeah, and just a quick plug. I know there's not a lot of people that live up in the Lake County area that listen to this. A lot of them are down by you guys. But if you are up near the state line of Wisconsin and Illinois, there is a cool spot up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, right over the border called Christmas Lane. I don't know if that's actually what the street's called. I'm pretty sure it's not actually. But it's this one street in Wisconsin where every single house just kind of goes all out for Christmas. Every single night there's like line of cars like going like 2 miles an hour on the street so they can look at everything, and it's kind of backed up. It's very cool though. The kids love it. That's something that I do every year is we try and get up there at least once. So that, and then just looking at looking at my neighbors and all the stuff in my town as well. So that's just, I love doing it. And it gets out of that, you're out of the house, it's free, and the kids aren't at home making a mess, trying to keep the house clean for the holidays and stuff. So it's nice to do that, get it home right in time for bedtime. It's kind of checks all the boxes. So it's great.
It's a big one, Nick. Yeah. I had it on my list of like, not necessarily going through a neighborhood. So we have in the past done sort of like the walkthroughs at the zoo.
Yeah, that's kind of same.
Those ones, and actually the Morton Arboretum has a drive-through. They do a drive-through, which is really cool to see, and I think that'll increase in the coming years with kids for Jenny and I. But yeah, I mean, how can you not? Especially when you have kids, it's like they're like moths to a flame just looking at all of the stuff that is out there on people's houses or just displayed out there. So yeah,
and
great.
I'll say like I've never heard like my kids more excited than when we're just like out looking at Christmas lights and there's like a Bluey inflatable, or like a Mickey Mouse when they were into that, or like Spider-Man or something that they're like super into, and they see that on someone's yard. It's like they're so excited. It's awesome. So that's like one of my favorite parts of it too.
If you guys, Drew, you said the illuminations at the Morton Arboretum, it really is outrageous. The light shows that they put on, there's something where like they'll put lights on a tree and have some sound effects, and they make it look like the trees are breathing in the lights, and it's so trippy. It's outrageous. So if you're in the area or just want to have a nice little outing, and it's worth a 30-minute drive. It really is. It gets packed, and they have, treats and hot chocolate, and you can roast some s'mores. It's really fantastic.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. I'll probably be down there. I have family down in Naperville, so not to, going down there somewhat often. So I'll have to definitely put that on the list this year.
Nick, it's crazy. You have to like pre-buy your tickets. It's a thing.
I'm sure of it. I don't. Yeah, everything down by you guys is gotta wait. Pay a lot of money. I'll stay up in Lake County. I do like that stuff. I'll check it out this year. But no, for sure. That sounds awesome. All right.
The only other one I had just one honorable mention, and I'm going to be a sucker for doing this, and you guys can hate me for being those people but I don't think you will, is I am going to be the person that gets dressed up in the holiday pajamas.
Okay.
Got to do
sure.
it.
We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that in the future for all to see. The family.
We're talking like matching PJs for the fam.
100%.
There you go.
100%. Yeah. Holiday pajamas with me, Jenny, Nathan, Huck, Finn, and any players to be named later. It's going to be
future draft considerations.
Yeah, exactly.
Cash considerations.
That's going to be the full spiel.
Oh, that's great.
That's the good stuff. Jay, do you have any honorable mentions you want to throw out?
Honestly, no. I had some things written down for other holidays, so I'm good.
All right, cool. Well, that was fun. I'll see if I can put together a graphic. It's going to be tough to do so, but we'll see what we can do. Otherwise, listeners just enjoy. Maybe tweet at us, message us on Instagram. What are your favorite holiday traditions? Something like that. Maybe we won't vote on something. Just let us know what you guys like, what you don't like, stuff like that. But with all that being said, I think we're going to kick it into this week. We're going to talk some Bears Eagles. So before we kind of start the Bears Eagles breakdown, the Bears are playing in Philadelphia on Friday. The game's at 2:00, which I didn't realize. It's like in the middle of the afternoon, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I thought it was a night game. It's not. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, right in the middle of your day. It kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually no, not some people I know, like they work on Friday. Like I'm sure they took the day off and they'll be working from home or whatever, but people got to work. That sucks. But anyway,
Yeah.
Friday at 2 p.m. in Philadelphia. Eagles -7 as of I don't know, a couple hours ago when I wrote this. I don't know if it's changed since then or not. Over under is 44.5. Bears are plus 260 money line, which might get into in a little bit. The big storylines coming to this game. I don't think you can really get around this, but this is when the schedule came out. I think a lot of people looked at this as a real like roll your eyes. Why are we doing this? Who's going to watch this? Who cares? Situation. And the line would indicate that a lot of people still think that way, but I think that you've got a matchup of 2 8-3 teams playing for playoff positioning on a solo game. I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't think anybody expected this, so definitely an unexpected game of importance for the NFC playoff picture. Winner of this game can put some real pressure on the Rams for the 1 seed. There's only one bye in the playoffs this year, so winner of this game is going to be 1 game behind the Rams, and the Eagles actually have beat the Rams head to head, so that would give them a driver's seat as well. Mm-hmm. But just interesting how this game how it fell that this game ended up being a very highly important playoff game, because I don't think a lot of people had that. I don't think anybody had that.
No.
So that's my first storyline that I came up with. Number 2 is that we talked about a little bit earlier. The Eagles are coming off a historically bad loss, desperate for a win, losing at Dallas after getting out to a blistering 21-0 start in the first quarter. The Eagles completely fell apart and lost after the first quarter. Were outscored 24-0. So, who's gonna come out on Friday? Is it going to be the first quarter Eagles that can't stop moving the ball and are elite on defense, or is it going to be the Eagles the rest of the game who are clunky and bad on offense and fine on defense but give up points? I think that's kind of the big question going into this game. So this game obviously has huge playoff implications. Once again, the Bears coming into this. So the playoff percentages right now, the Bears are at a 59% playoff chance as of right now. Winning this game puts them up to 76. Losing this game drops them down only like 6 points to 53%. So not a terrible swing, but a win would be massive. A win, I feel like a win almost guarantees you a spot in the playoffs here. Are you guys letting yourself think that this might be a win, or are you guys kind of like where are your heads at right now for this game? Jay, what do you think?
You know what? I'm not that optimistic being in Philadelphia for the game too. It's like I'm not. If we want to talk spreads and thing, like that's still a touchy one. I think the Bears can keep it within a game. Can they win the game? Of course. Anyone can win any game in the NFL, and the Bears are playing with a moxie. And it's also like, hey, can Sirianni just abandon the run game like he's done a couple of times and just put the game in Jalen Hurts' hands? Yeah, then you can come away with the win. It's going to be very tough sledding. And I'm not trying to kind of avoid any kind of optimism here, but I want to be realistic when taking a look at our chances to win this game. Yeah. And I don't think that they're great, but it's certainly not impossible. The Bears defense has shown that they're very good at turning the ball over. You get a couple turnovers, anything's alive. And there's a real possibility of doing that. And like I said, you couple that with Sirianni's just been having some of the worst game management for a very talented team that I can remember in the history of the NFL this season. Granted, they're 8-3, but like they've been doing some things that has had my jaw on the ground this season. So it's there. It can be there. I wouldn't bet on the Bears. I'm probably not throwing anything on the Bears money line, even though it's a little juicy. I'm not expecting a win. but we'll hope for the best. That's where I'm at.
No, that makes total sense. I mean, again, spread Eagles are -7, so I don't think a lot of people. I think a lot of people have that same opinion based on where that is. And again, I'm not necessarily asking for your pick right now, Drew, but like, are you letting yourself get optimistic about this game? Do you think that like, are you? Do you see this spread as Vegas doesn't know what they're doing, or where are you at right now?
Yeah, I'm a little bit more optimistic than Jay just because of the disheveledness of this Philadelphia Eagles team and the struggle of what looks like. Yes, they won the Super Bowl last year, but their identity of that team versus this team seems so different. It seems like two sides of the coin right there. Like, I understand that this is from what Sirianni is showing on an offensive standpoint, that this is Jalen Hurts' team. Do I think Jalen Hurts is a good enough player to win a Super Bowl by himself? Absolutely not. I don't. And he is not shown that he can get his complementing players the ball well enough to make them an effective offensive team. But at the same time, they're winning ball games, and that happens. This is bringing into the alliance talking. We talked about it last week. Yep. Of the Bears and Eagles unspoken alliance. They had to play each other. I am very optimistic about this ballgame because of the fact that I think the jeopardy is this is a team that is being overcoached for no reason, and not just letting their players play because of what a sixth sense of I need to have control versus a coach that is guiding a team to have success in games that they probably shouldn't win, or games that they are on the cusp of winning and winning more consistently. So I think we have a real shot at this one, boys. I really do. And that might just be me trying to pump it up, but the Eagles, there's just something wrong there. And it's more than Sirianni. It's more, it seems like it's an internal struggle in that roster. And you hear it every week with A.J. Brown complaining about some things, although he got fed this past week. Still happened in a loss.
Yeah.
There's just something wrong with Philadelphia right now, and it doesn't scream to me that they are repeat champions.
Yeah, Drew, I tend to agree more with you on this. And Jay, I'm going to give you a statistic here that might make you feel a little more optimistic if you don't mind.
I'd love that.
All right. So Lane Johnson, the tackle for the Eagles, who is he's probably a future Hall of Famer, great offensive lineman, one of the best tackles in the game. He's been in the Eagles since he was drafted in 2013. In his entire career, games that he plays in, the Eagles have a 650 winning percentage. They're 108-57. In games without Lane Johnson, they have a less than 400 winning percentage of 15-23. Pretty big difference in winning percentage with obviously the same teams, just minus him. There's, that's a big enough sample size where I do think that he is a big piece that is kind of big piece in what they do. He is not going to play in this game. He's got a Liz Frank injury on his foot. He will probably miss at least the next 2-3 weeks. Maybe he'll be back for the regular season. Not sure. I don't want to boil the whole matchup down to one player's health, but I do think Lane Johnson's health plays a big factor in whether the Eagles are the Super Bowl champions that they were last year or a pretty good team. So I don't know. I think that's one thing to look at. I don't know if that wets the beak a little bit for you, Jay.
That wets the beak. That does wet the beak for sure. That is some inside great knowledge, great reason to kind of flip into that optimism. God damn it. I'm certainly going to be on Bears +7. That's a guarantee. Hell, I might dabble on the money line too. Let's go.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm not even before the Lane Johnson news, you know what I would have never touched? And I feel like this would have been like like there's some people that are gonna be like, oh, Eagles, Bears. The Bears are pretenders. Minus 300 on the money line for the Eagles. That's a zero touch, right?
Oh, yeah.
In my
No
opinion,
way.
there's no chance. I would take the Bears at plus 230 over if I had a gun to my head versus minus 300. That's not anything that can be touched. So with the Lane Johnson news, that's even better. I love that. Great stat.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually seen that he's not playing, but he did not participate in practice. It is said that he was diagnosed with a Liz Frank injury, which typically is a 3 to 5 week minimum injury. So I can't imagine he's going to play, especially, well, he didn't play last week, but I don't think he's going to play. That's what it comes down to. It's hard to tell on these weird weeks of practice because they only had one practice so far this week, and it's hard to tell exactly what's happening here with injuries. But I think it's safe to say he's not going to play. So I think that plays this week. Another couple of things I want to call out is that the Eagles are kind of not great on either defense or offense statistically. Statistically speaking, the Eagles are in the middle of the pack in rushing yards allowed at 115 yards a game. They are also in the middle of the pack at 225 passing yards per game. So they give up over 300 yards a game on average. Toward the bottom of the league in sacks with only 22. They have been better since they got Jalen Phillips from Miami, but still overall in the season, not that good in the bottom third. They're also near the bottom of the league in passing yards per game at 109. They averaged less than 200 passing yards per game, and they're also in the bottom third in rushing yards per game with 110. So they're middle to below average in all these statistics. Now, they have played a very difficult schedule if you look at the teams they've beaten and the teams they've played. So that might skew it a little bit, but I don't know, man. I think people throw the fraud word around a lot to the Bears because they're where they are. I think the Eagles are not a very good 8-3 team, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Listen, I've thought that for a very long time, and I even said that last year, and then they won the damn Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm just not a Jalen Hurts guy. I never have been, and I'll continue to say that until the day I die. And he can continue to win Super Bowls apparently, or go to the Super Bowl and prove me wrong. But like, I've always thought that if Jalen Hurts was on the Bears or the Jets, he'd have been out of the league already.
Yes, 100%.
But it works. They can win. But listen, you guys are for evidence. This persuasive essay that I'm being presented with is making me more optimistic and confident here. There's a fighter's chance, and it might be more than a fighter's chance now.
Yeah.
I will say 2 encouraging points. I don't know if we have this further down, but no, we have our injury report, but Saquon Barkley is questionable, and so is Devonta Smith. Questionable. Did not practice, both in their walkthroughs today. So, things to look forward to.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the short week, injury reports are really hard to read and like kind of read the tea leaves right now. So I'm going to assume that if they're questionable, that means they're going to play. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the truth. It's just who knows. But yeah, that is worth monitoring. Although I will say, like, Saquon Barkley, who had over 2,000 yards rushing last season, he's at 684 on 185 rushing attempts. He's averaging less than 4 yards a carry, which is not great for a guy who I thought should have got MVP votes last season based on his rushing. He might have actually got some MVP votes. I don't know what the actual breakdown was. But I'm telling you, this team, yes, they're the Super Bowl champs. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. And they have a lot of the same pieces on the team, at least on offense, that they did last year. But you look at the numbers, we're talking 11 games, and they just have not been able to put it together. The defense, honestly, is what scares me more than the offense, because whenever you have a Vic Fangio-led unit on defense, it's terrifying because he was here for 2 or 3 years. He's one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. So there's no doubt in my mind he'll be able to scheme up, something that'll confuse Caleb or take away the run and make Caleb beat us whatever they want to take away. I'm sure they'll be able to do it. But again, these numbers are just not good. And I haven't watched a ton of Eagles games. I've watched their primetime games, and I've caught them on Red Zone whenever they're on. And honestly, a lot of what I get about for the Eagles is I listen to Pardon My Take, and their producer Max is a big Philadelphia guy.
Yeah.
So like I just kind of take his word for it. And he is down bad after the Cowboys loss. So I don't know what to make of this team. All I know is what the numbers are saying, and the numbers are saying that this is not a good team. They're a middle of the pack team. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure, but I just kind of I don't know. That's just how I look at it. I always try and look at Bears games optimistically, and these numbers just kind of back it up a little bit.
And what brings me most encouragement overall than just the players, the way that they're playing. They're the number 2 seed. They are with what you put out there, Nick, with the playoff chances, they're 99% to make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they're in the playoffs.
With a win, with a loss, no matter what, they're probably, after seeing what the Rams have been doing, they're probably out of the first seed. So like, does this game, we're starting to get into that concept of like, does this game mean that much to them? Do they care? Looking at their remaining schedule, if you looked at it, they've got Washington twice. They've got the Raiders. They've got 2 other lay down games. So it's like, oh man, this could be one where it's just like, yeah, we just want to get past a short week on Friday and get into some more healthy territory to the next Sunday. I know it's the NFL and you can't overlook any game, but this could be one that the Bears are very much undervalued in because of all of those facts.
Are you guys basically no? Go for it, Nick.
I would say that didn't even think about it. Like not taking this game seriously, kind of the opposite way. Not because they're overlooking the Bears as a joke, but because this game doesn't mean anything, and they have a bunch of cupcakes on their schedule. That they could lose this game and still be 14 and 13 and 4. And have the number 2 seed and not really sweat it out. I think that's actually a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
They're 8-4. They're 8-4 at the end of this, and the Cowboys lose to the Chiefs. They still have a 3-game spread
with 5
in the
play.
East.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's it. That's interesting. Jay, were you saying something?
Well, I was going to say, are you guys basically forcing me to bet the Bears +7 right now? it seems like my hands are tied. I have my right hand on the DraftKings half right now.
Jay, by the time we're done with this segment, you're going to be all over that money line. I promise you.
Yeah, that's that. That sounds good. A couple other things, possibilities.
For the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, good deal. I mean, listen, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon might return too, so that's even more in the mix of, hey, might be stacking up for the Bears. Also, Jalen Carter just might eat too much turkey on Thanksgiving and spit on a guy again. Who knows?
You never know. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, that's for sure.
It's a salty turkey.
So one thing I want to touch on before we kind of go into our keys of the game is I haven't been able to really find anything. It was not a super in-depth search for it. It was a quick Google while we were talking just now. But I don't know if Ozzie did enough on Sunday to earn the starting job over Theo Benedict, or if Theo Benedict is going, because Theo Benedict was a full participant at practice today. So I don't think there's any injury designation going to be on him for Friday. So I guess the question is, did Ozzie do enough to earn that job? Because I think we can all honestly say that Theo Benedict has been fine, but he has been the weak link on the Bears offensive line since he's been in there. He's been a step up from Braxton Jones, but he's still been the weak link on the offensive line. If you think you have something in Ozzie, I mean, you gotta give him a go, right?
Yeah, I think you do, Nick.
Yeah.
I think the upside is just so clearly there.
Yeah.
I would like to see that if they're both healthy, personally, because it's not like Theo's like entrenched as a starter at left tackle. I think he's kind of struggled, and if the future, and I mean, shit, you drafted Ozzie knowing that you had Darnell Wright at right tackle, so you're not drafting another right tackle to be a depth piece in the second round.
Right.
The plan all along was for him to potentially see snaps at left tackle, and if he's showed up and did well enough in game one, then I think you gotta keep him there. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think so too. But Drew, what do you think? You think we're going to see Ozzy out there at left tackle?
Man, I do want to see Ozzy out there for a longevity purpose, but at the same time, if he's not ready, he's not ready. And I just want to see a good core jive together and continue to play and know that I have a backup somewhere that can come out and provide those type of blocking statistics that you brought up earlier, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to rush the gun with Ozzy because it seems like you do have something there. But I do want him to get involvement in this core. It's the catch-22. I do want him to get some involvement in this core that is having success. So, yeah, get him out there if you can, if he feels comfortable. No matter what, I know a football player is going to say they feel comfortable. So,
Yeah.
I just don't want it to break a good potential second round tackle to lose 3 sacks in a game. Yeah, it's a catch-22 for me.
I was going to say, but just you got to pick a guy. Who do you want out there? They're both
Fine.
healthy.
Right now, I want the Canadian Eagle.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
You want the
if this
thong
was a
wearing
game,
man.
if he let
doesn't?
up a bunch of bad stats, I'd rather let it be him than Ozzy, to where we can get Ozzy in the next games and get him more exposure and show him different things. I don't think Ozzy's quite there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason, like, the Bears played a pretty decent defense in the Steelers last week, and maybe not necessarily on paper, but this talent that the Steelers have is, they have a ton of talent, and I think the fact that Ozzy put up those good numbers against the Steelers, I think, kind of shows that he's ready for a shot, and that's why I want to see him. I get what you're saying, like I totally understand what you're saying. I think I'm just kind of done with training wheels on young players. I kind of want to throw them in the fire and see if they, or throw them in the pool, see if they can swim, I guess would be a better analogy. So that's kind of where I am. But I mean, I don't know. I definitely see your point, and I don't think it's wrong. I just think I just feel opposite the other way. So
the main thing is if you think you got the guy, throw him out there. Like if you think he's the guy, throw him out there. And let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, I think that's
kind of where I fall in that. Yeah. And if
I guess it matters if Ben Johnson thinks he's the guy. Yeah. So
right.
Anyway, Jake, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to say in who knows? I mean, maybe Theo still has a little bit of a lingering injury too, and you just want to be safe with that. I don't know, but I'd like to see Ozzy out there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Anyway, okay. It's just something that I thought of. I didn't put on the sheet, so I kind of ambushed you guys with that, but I thought it was a good conversation to have. So let's go into some keys for this game. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it over to Drew. Drew, give me a couple keys to this game, and we can so that the Bears can stay in this game and ultimately win this game.
The number one thing for me is just stop Jalen Hurts. It's no longer Saquon Barkley's team. Yeah. You need to figure out a way to have, and although his offensive stats have been very down over the past 4 to 5 weeks, they are still seemingly winning games. So stopping Jalen Hurts is number one overall for me. Don't get them into short yardage situations to where they can utilize the tush push to get first downs, get touchdowns. That's number one. Number two for me is it's not as much of a key, but it's more of like a mindset. The Bears have not beat the Philadelphia Eagles since 2011. Wow. Obviously, we know there have been some highlight games in that, the double doink, all of those things. I didn't want to bring it up, but like this is a season that feels like there are some big differences than the past. So this is one of those, like, let's set a right, let's get on the right path, and let's show that we're a different team, beating teams that we haven't beat in the past, and that trends, like stopping trends that have been happening of the past 10 plus years. So I want Ben Johnson getting his team ready to say, like, beat the shit out of this team because you haven't in a while.
Yeah.
And that's a key to me, the key to the game for me, of Ben Johnson just getting them ready. The short week, it's a team that you know, although they are on a successful path to get into the playoffs, just seems like they're on a downward trending spiral. So just do something to win this game and continue on the trend that you're going on. I don't care if it's by one score. I don't care if, like we've been saying in the past, if you step on their throats, just win the game. Ultimately, that's a key for me.
Yeah. Right on. Totally makes sense to me. I love it. Jay, what are your keys for this game?
So I'm going to focus a little bit on Caleb and the offense here. I think that it could be potentially tough sledding against on the road in Philly, really hostile environment, good defense, Vic Fangio defense, like you kind of said, Nick. I want to start like kind of at the basics. I want and need to see the Bears, and not that they haven't done this, but I for whatever reason, I just feel like in that environment, it's going to be really critical to have clean huddles and breaks out of the huddles and get to the line of scrimmage with time. So break the huddle, get the play call in efficiently. I know that sounds basic, something that you don't even need to really say, but that's how we can limit offensive penalties pre-snap, illegal formations, illegal shifts, false starts, things like that can kind of shoot us in the foot. If we're playing behind the line of scrimmage of this game, it's going to be really, really difficult to win the game. And I want to couple that with, you have to have one or less turnover, right? If you're in the 2 turnover range, this game is gone, in my opinion. So you need to see everything clean on the offense. And then you couple that with, we also are going to need to see 3 or 4 explosive plays, those 15, 20-yard plays where we're not just trying to force feed a run game that could be pretty stagnant against this Eagles defense. You have to be able to have, in my opinion, I think it's going to be one of those weird games where you have to have the pass game actually open up the running game. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Caleb to not only be accurate with the football, be on time with the football, but be kind of the general on the field to command the entire offense, stay efficient, and stay on time. And that's the way that I think that the Bears can win the game. I think from the defensive perspective, you know, for the reasons you guys kind of brought up, like, it's reasonable that the Eagles are in the 21 to 24 point range. Where I'm actually seeing this game as a challenge is for the Bears to put up 27, right? If you can get to 27, I think you win the game. And that's all on how Caleb's going to be able to command that offense in a hostile environment.
Yeah, no, right on. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense to me. My keys to the game are very simple. I'm going to kind of keep the same keys to the game, but I have one big key that I want to talk a little bit more in depth about. So my two main keys are very simple: create turnovers, win the turnover battle, like you've been doing on defense, and then again on offense, don't settle for field goals, score touchdowns. Philadelphia, kind of like Chicago, is a difficult place to kick field goals anyway. It's an outdoor stadium in November. It's going to be windy and cold. So let's score touchdowns. Let's not rely on field goals. The one thing I want to do, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, the one thing I want to talk a little bit more in depth about is I really think of this game particularly, it's important to get off to a hot start. There is a tension boiling in Philadelphia for this team. They just blew a 21-point lead to a hated division rival. If the Bears come out and they take a 14-0 lead in this game, we're going to turn that crowd on the Eagles.
That's a great point.
Booing them off the field. If we get off to a hot start, it's going to be a loud, like, crazy environment for the Eagles. Philadelphia fans are not known for being reasonable people. So if we can get off to a hot start, there's a pretty good chance that that fan base is booing and turning on their team. Whether that's right or not, it's not for me to say, but I think that will happen if you get out to a quick lead, like a 2-score lead in the first quarter. So get out to a hot start, create some turnovers, score touchdowns, and then just don't play conservatively. If you do get a lead, keep playing the same style of football, because this team can put up points. Like we've seen them. They put up like 40 points in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs last year. Like this team has the weapons to do it. They're never going to be out of this game. So put your foot on the throat if you have a chance to.
Love that. Especially like the part of if the crowd turning on the Eagles that is very much exactly what would happen. So that's great.
That's 100% like in the realm of possibilities here. So got to get off to a hot start first, though. It's not going to happen if they're, nothing in the first quarter. Got to make them sweat. So
those keys of the game, I think, were our best keys of the game of the season, by the way. I think that was all just on the money. And it wasn't just like, hey, run the ball, score more points. That was pretty insightful shit, I got to say.
Yeah, we know our stuff, guys.
Yeah.
We know our stuff. That's why we're here behind the mics. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So injury updates. We've touched on a lot of these as we've gone, but main injuries for the Bears. Linebacking core not looking good again. TJ Edwards still not participating in practices. Ruben Hippolyte, rookie reserve linebacker, also not participating in practices. Noah Sewell also not participating in practices. You got Tremaine Edmonds on IR, so he is obviously not eligible to play in this game as well. So that's your top 4 linebackers right there not playing again. So that's a problem. Dominique Robinson got a concussion last week. He is still in the concussion protocol. He's a reserve defensive lineman. Tyreek Stevenson, that's kind of a big one. He did not participate in practice with his hip injury. That's a big one. However, might not be as big of a deal with Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson, both full participants in practice this week. So you get those two back, and if Tyreek Stevenson has to miss the game, it actually doesn't really hurt you a ton because you're still, I think, net positive on the corner position going into the game if you get those two guys back. So I hope Tyreek comes back. He's a good player, but I also would love to see Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon out in this game. Kyle Monungai, he's got a little bit of a knee injury, but he's a full participant in his practice today, so I fully expect him to go on Friday. And Theo Benedict, I talked about him earlier. He's back from his quad injury. He's a full participant, so we'll see what Ben Johnson decides to do at the left tackle position. So all in all, everything's kind of getting healthier with the exception of the linebackers. The linebackers is still a problem. So hopefully those guys can step up again this week because we need them to.
Yeah, I mean, that is a little bit concerning against a traditionally excellent Philadelphia running core. We'll see.
It is. Jalen Warren last week was kind of having his way with the Bears defense, so put Saquon in that, and it can get ugly fast. So we'll see. I think the good news is that the Eagles are dealing with their own fair share of injuries again. Like I said, tackle is not going to be playing most likely in this game, so there is some injuries on their end as well. But yeah, we need someone to tackle Saquon Barkley when he gets out there. So hopefully the young guys or the reserve guys have what it takes to step up again. We're asking a lot of them, but that's what happens when you go on a playoff run. You got to have unexpected people step up in big games. So that's what this is.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley's biggest defender is Nick Sirianni. So
that's true.
I'm very confident that if it became like, even if he was having a remote amount of success, that the game plan would automatically turn a 90-degree angle and go somewhere else because that's what it's been so far this year. So why not?
Oh God, that's so funny. And Nick Sirianni was a full participant in practice. So oh God, that's so funny. Yeah. Nick Sirianni is just, I don't know. He just makes some really weird decisions, and it seems like it works out for him a lot of times because he has a really good record as a head coach. Like you look at his record, he's got a Super Bowl and he's got 4 winning seasons under his belt. 4 playoff appearances, something like that. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win. Like, he's got a good record, but
Terrible.
yeah, right. I mean, like,
Terrible. Honestly, he's a Bears. If they lose this game, Philadelphia's going to be calling for his head again. Like that's going to happen.
That's
for
what I
a
keep
guaranteed playoff run too.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
right.
saying. A year after a Super Bowl win.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're right though. People in Philadelphia, I don't know. They demand greatness, I guess, and
They do.
It's
Yeah.
good for
That's
them.
what happens when you live in Philadelphia. You're angry
right.
all the time.
Yeah. Been to Philadelphia. It's not that bad. I enjoyed my time in Philadelphia. It's cool.
Said you brotherly love.
But yeah. See, Bears Eagles. Is there anything else we want to talk about Bears Eagles wise? Because I think I'm kind of out of stuff. So,
Only
boys,
thing is, any listeners that are still with us at this point is get your shopping done early. It's a 2 p.m. start that we talked about.
Yeah.
Get it done. I don't think Black Friday shopping is as predominant as it was in the past, but
no.
Get it done early. Get in to the household, because also we're supposed to get a lot of snow on Saturday.
Wild.
So get in early with your shopping. Watch the Bears game. Support your team. This is a big game for the Bears. Really big game for the Bears, and need all the support we can possibly get. So don't be caught out there at Target in a 17-person line trying to get one freaking Vitamix because, somebody had it on their Instagram reel that was the best deal this year. No, get home, watch the Bears, and support
Bunker down.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well said. Well said. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, Jay, I'm going to kick it over back to you, and we're going to go through the fantasy corner. Betting and
That
fantasy.
sounds like a great plan. At the fantasy corner is brought to you by Chuck's Southern Comfort Buffet. Hey, BQ Army, are you looking for your next great place to enjoy a Bears game with great food, drinks, and people? Well, look no further than Chuck's Southern Buffet, just on Cast, just off of I-55 in Darien. Chuck's has great food and drink specials for every day of the week, and for Bears games especially. You can find a link to those and their menu in our descriptions and our bios on our socials. $3 PBRs, $5 Yingling pints, and more for their Sunday specials, with a wide open layout for bar patrons, including slots, seated dinner guests, and even private event spaces. Chuck's has everything you need for your next outing. So get on down there and tell them that the BQ boys sent you, and maybe we'll even see you for a Bears game or two this year. Off to the Guillotine League. There's six spots remaining. 6 spots remaining. It was a tight one last week. Who got KO'd? Jeff got KO'd last week. Mm-hmm. RIP, Jeff. Thank you so much for playing. It's been fun. It's crazy now with only 6 people left. I know me, Sam, and Mark are still alive. We have a little 3-person text chain going on, just freaking out on the daily. There's not much free agent budget left. So people are down to the last couple of bucks, but that's where you can get some good value now, right? I don't even know who's on the list anymore. I put in some $0 bids, and I know I'm not going to get any of them. I think it was like CD Lamb and some good talented players, but we'll see.
Every team, I just looked at this, Jay, every team right now prefab is projected over 130 points.
Yeah.
Which is what you should be at this point with 6 teams in a fantasy league, but that's crazy.
I know.
Like, everybody needs to perform on your team.
I know. It's very scary. It's a very scary, like the anxiety is even higher. And the Mark Noth is currently on the chopping block, but he controls he has the most free agent money. So he'll be able to get whoever he wants if he wants to get them. And so his projected point
Right.
total is going to go even higher. So it's
Yeah.
a hold on to your butt situation.
Yeah, this is an unusual week with a Tuesday show. The waivers hasn't gone through yet, so we don't know who has what coming into the week because that'll go through in the morning. So we'll see. I think Mark probably won't be on the chopping block tomorrow morning
Yeah.
would be my guess.
Yeah.
But as of right now, he is. Yeah, so we'll see.
I fully anticipate myself to be on the chopping block. Drake London got some discouraging fantasy news. They're basically out of the playoff hunt, and they were like, we're going to be extra cautious with him. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm
He's
in a
up.
guillotine league, and I need you, buddy.
Yeah.
Need you.
Figure it out.
Yeah. He'll
We'll
be
see.
fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Throw him in there. Kirk Cousins to Drake London for 27 yards. that's what you got. So it is getting very scary. It's a lot of fun. I don't really have too much other to say other than that because we don't have the free agent bids in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll report back. We'll post something on socials about it. Drew, Nick, anything else in that league? I don't mean to skim over this, but I don't really know what else to say other than it's going to be fun.
No, still cool to see. Although Nick and I are out, still cool to see everybody participating high. I'm in another guillotine league, and there is zero activity in that league, and I feel like I am just picking I can put $0 fabs in there every single week because I'm going to get it because no one's paying attention. This is not like that.
That's
100%.
Yeah.
So that's what we love to see. Keep it up. Jay, try to bring it home for the pod. No pressure.
I'm trying.
100% pressure. You better do it.
It's the candle's burning down. It's not
The
looking
wick's
good.
getting close to the metal instead of there's not a lot of wax in between the metal and the wick.
I'm hoping for a very good Hanukkah season. So let's keep those candles burning. We'll see.
Happy
We'll
Hanukkah,
see.
Marv.
Mm-hmm. No, it'll be fun. Are you guys paying attention though? Even though you're out, are you guys still checking
Yes.
in?
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, so this is my first guillotine league, and it's fun. Like I'm not in it anymore, but I do like to see who's doing it and how much people are still going for and all that fun stuff. It's interesting. Drew, it sounds like a bummer that like you're in a guillotine. Like if I was ever to do another guillotine league and it was kind of like that one, I'd be bummed out because like this one that we're in is like people are cutthroat. It's like it's awesome. I love it.
Pride's on the line.
I literally looked at the fab for this week and then looked at free agents, and there was like Christian McCaffrey was still on free agency. Like, okay, I'll
Guess
take
he's
him
on
on
our
my
team now.
team. Didn't even
Yeah.
have to put it. Yeah, like sure, okay.
Wild.
So yeah, that's tough, but that happens.
It does. Let's go to our fantasy pick'em. We can recap from the last week and the best football week of the year, Thanksgiving week. Last week, the champ came back, right, with an electric 50.68 performance. And I was able to be back on the top tier of the podium. 50.68 points is really bad for a win. So we didn't put up our best work last week, and that's okay. I took, what was it? The Jacoby Brissett, Michael Wilson stack somehow paid dividends for me, I guess, if you want to consider it that. But we got kind of decimated with some stinkers. Drew, you got kind of hosed. Alvin Kamara went out with an injury early. Stephon
right
Diggs
away.
kind of didn't
Which
do great.
Yeah.
You're right. It is.
Yeah.
And Nick, you kind of got hosed with Jameson Williams laying an egg.
Yeah.
Drake May put up some good points. Kenneth Walker did okay. Kyron didn't Kyron.
No, he did not.
And I even had T. Higgins, who I thought was going to be the premier matchup with Jamar Chase out. He got concussed. So things happen. But let's turn our attention to our week 13 picks. Let's start out the draft, and we're going to go, what's the order we're going this week? I'm going to lead us off. Drew, you're going to take the second pick. Nick, you'll wrap us around. Deal?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
All right. So I'm going to just so you guys know, I'm going with some heavy hitters that haven't been drafted yet. So that's my draft strategy going into this. And I'm going to take, who am I going to take first? I'm going to take Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson against Cincinnati. Big game for, well, the Ravens, really. They got to kind of keep on winning. Even though did they reclaim first place?
They did,
last week.
Yeah, because we beat the Steelers. Yeah,
because we beat the Steelers. But I'm gonna take Lamar because I need a lot of points and I need to have a QB1 situation. So Lamar's going to be my 101 pick.
Yeah, that was my number 1 pick as well. So I think that's a great pick.
Didn't have him, but he was on there, Jay, for sure. Lamar's going to have some big games upcoming to finish off this season, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean the downside to that pick in this week is he's questionable. He's got some lingering kind of injuries going around. Fully expected him to play, though. Obviously, I'm making the pick, but well, yeah, I need a lot of points to catch up because what I didn't mention is I'm so far behind. I'm 140 points behind Nick, who's in a heated battle with Drew, 697, 688, and then lowly Jay at 559. So I got to string some points together and take some heavy hitters.
Yeah, you missed.
All right.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
that's what happens.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the complimentary person to your quarterback. I'm going to go with the fat boy who should eat on Thanksgiving. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. Although he has not been able to run the ball lately against two seemingly cupcake matchups. I think he'll eat a little bit. Maybe give me a touchdown. Give me a touchdown or two, Derrick Henry on Thanksgiving. Get yourself a turkey leg, and that'll work for me. So, yeah.
That's a pretty favorable matchup against the Bengals, so can't blame you there.
Well, you thought it would have been last week. Yeah,
it's true.
And
true.
Yeah, not great. So,
yeah.
Couple Ravens off the board. Nick, you got the wraparound.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take a quarterback because I only have 2 written down, and I can't let Drew take my quarterback and be scrambling. So I'm going to take Mahomes here. Mahomes against the Cowboys. Cowboys defense has been better, but I think that they also are better because they're playing not as good offenses. And I think Mahomes back against the wall. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that old Mahomes shows up on Thursday. He has been not very good this year. Like statistically, I'm sure his quarterback play is fine, but statistically has not been there. But I'm thinking that this might be a big Patrick Mahomes resurgence game. And to double down on that bad bet, I'm going to stack him with Rashee Rice as my wide receiver.
Yeah, how could
love
you
that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I mean, they should be eating flaps down. Bad Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, shrimp fried Rashee Rice.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Beautiful Thanksgiving side dish.
Classic. Traditional American thing.
Yeah. Drew, back to you.
Okay, I'm taking a flex because I took my running back. I'm taking RJ Harvey as my flex running back here. Sunday night game against Washington looks a little sloppy, and that Denver offense has been rather sloppy. They don't need to win a game, but I do think they need to get RJ Harvey involved a lot more. Think he can punch a ball in and get some good stats for me. So RJ Harvey for sure.
Yeah. Gettable Washington defense. J.K. Dobbins out. RJ Harvey gonna eat, right? I mean, I think that's pretty simple linear logic, if you ask me. So great pick.
Recipe.
Yeah.
Recipe.
All right, I'm going to take another kind of top ranked player this week, and I'm going to take Devon Achane against the Saints. Dolphins at home. He was literally the top ranked running back that I haven't picked yet. So the logic is very simple there. And we are chasing. We're going to try to stack the deck a little bit. So give me Achane against the Saints. It's a Dolphins offense that just can't do much, and Achane's the only kind of thing that they have. So I think they're going to feed him the ball. And I like the matchup against the Saints. And I will wrap around with who am I going to take? This is an actual immediate audible. I said I was going to take only top ranked players, and now I'm not. I'm going to go in the doldrums here, and I'm going to take Darnell Mooney against the Jets at the Jets. There's a very high chance that Drake London doesn't play, and I'm going to side with the fact that he's really going to be the wide receiver 1 on a bad football team against a bad defense. So Darnell Mooney, Devon Achane, those are my 2 picks.
The Moon Man.
The Moon Man. Former wide receiver 1 for the Chicago Bears.
100%. Best Chicago Bears receiver that has ever lived. No, absolutely not. All right. I see your pick and I raise you same player for the same team, and you probably are going to see the route that I'm taking with this. Taking Jalen Waddle as my wide receiver. You guys probably know where this head's going to land with my quarterback, but Nick still has to make a couple picks here.
Hopefully his head doesn't land on the turf and goes into concussion protocol.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, Drew, that was good. All right, I need a running back and a flex. I am going to take checking matchup again just to confirm I'm not wrong. Oh, not taking him. Bad pick. Okay. Bijan Robinson is my running back. I don't know. I haven't used him yet, and I can't remember who the Falcons are playing off the top of my head this week. They're playing against the Jets, so love it. Bijan Robinson. And then as my flex, I will be taking, and I don't think he was taken. If he was, correct me, but Zay Flowers is my flex. I don't think anyone took him.
Checking.
Nope.
You're good.
Cool. So,
although me and Drew both took him.
Yeah.
2.3 points for Drew and 10-6 for moi. So hopefully the flowers bloom for you, Nick.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. All right.
Okay, excellent. Drew, back to you, sir.
Just give me Tua. I didn't want to say it loud. I don't want to say it that loud. Don't let me say it again. Tua. Okay, fine. Done.
Tua. Tua. Not going to spell his last name. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to round us up with Chase Brown. Chase Brown, I think Burrow's coming back. Get some more Thanksgiving players going. Risky pick, but hey, let's see what happens. Nick, I like your lineup quite a bit there. That's some heavy hitters in your lineup there. This late in the season.
We're towards the end of the year. Need to start throwing some heavy hitters out there. Been kind of saving them for this exact reason. So, last game of the season, can't hold anything back now, as Dan Fouts would say. So,
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. Let's migrate to a very fruitful section from last week. We get to bask in our glory a little bit, and our dogs are hungry. The drill. We take the points. This is where we take the points. We did it. We did it for the second time this year. It feels good to get a parlay hit. Cowboys +3, Colts +3.5, Browns +4. Holy shit, Browns +4. They won the damn game by quite a bit. Cowboys, Colts had us kind of on the edge of our seats a little bit. All of us got wins. My record for the year is 6-5. Nick 6-6. Drew 6-6. We are above 500 collectively, gentlemen. Hell yes. Let's keep the momentum going into week 13. We're going to go Drew, Nick, me. Drew, lead us off. Who's your dog of the week?
I am having a lot of reservations about this pick, especially after seeing what happened on Sunday and Monday night. But 10.5 is just way too much at home.
My 101.
It's way too much at home for what I love of a West Coast, East Coast early travel game. I just can't. I can't, like, Matthew Stafford. Yes, he's MVP. I think they win that game, but 10.5 is a ton for two teams that are still competing in playoff race. That feels like a team that is sub 500 by 3 games, and you're giving them that number. So I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers. I've taken them many a time. It hasn't paid off for me. I really do think this pays off at plus 10.5 at home against the Rams.
Drew, I'm fully with you. That was my couple of things. I do not like the dogs this week. I looked over that slate and I did not like rough. A lot of them. It was a rough, tough sledding kind of pick. But that was my 101. I'm with you 100%. I think that the Rams win the game, but I don't know that the West Coast, East Coast thing, everything you said, I'm with you 100%.
Just feels weird. Just feels really, really weird. And yes, it's a team that's hot. And the Panthers, although they got pantsed, it looked like they got pantsed. They only lost that game on Monday night by 11. A score and seemed like they were in it. So seems like a game that they could not be far away from, but definitely lose. And that's why I like keeping single digits for sure.
Yeah, play the number. Play the number. I mean, we're not here to win the game. We're here to win the bet. Right. So
we're here to cover.
Yep. We're here to cover. Nick, we'll toss it over to you.
Yeah, Jay, I agree with you. The games this week, not a lot of dogs really jumped out at me right off at first glance. On second glance, though, I did see this game, and it did get me a little interested. I'm taking the New York Giants at Patriots on Monday night +7. I think Jameis has really kind of like got that team fired up. I think the Patriots are not as good as people think they are. They barely beat the Bengals, who have the worst defense in the league. I thought the Patriots were going to put up 40 points in that game. They did not. And the Giants took the Lions to overtime in Detroit. So I think that this team can play with anybody. I don't know if the Giants are going to win the game. I probably won't, but I do think they're going to keep it within a field goal, maybe, a couple field goals, something like that. So I like the Giants.
Giants have been covering, right? I mean, they played it close against the Packers, lost by 7. They took the Lions to overtime. So that's totally fair. Yeah, Jameis has the moxie to do it. Let's rock and roll. Yeah. I like that one. That was my third pick, Nick. So you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So good, bad, or
be not. Done, Jay. Do what needs to be done.
Oh God, I'm so scared.
You put yourself in the cleanup spot. You put yourself in the 3.
Well, I thought one of you guys were going to take it.
Yeah, I couldn't take it at 1. So
I know. So I have to take it at 3, and we're going to lock in because you guys did such a great job in your discussion debate class. You both got an A+. You took me from one side, you took me to the other. Now, without a doubt in my mind, the Bears +7, Black Friday, 2:00, undoubtedly will cover. Bears +7, lock it in. Nick, I'm assuming you are cooking up this parlay and odds.
Yeah, we are looking at +590.
That's exactly what I got. Yeah, baby.
God, this is kind of a hold your nose situation collectively, though. Like, I don't feel great about the other ones I felt good about, but this was a tough sledding week.
When everything's a touchdown and above spread, that's the ones. Yeah. Those are the ones where it's like, okay,
oh, God.
Well,
Can we just need like one turnover in the red zone each game, and then we're good. That's all we need.
Maybe a pick six here or there.
Yep. All right, excellent. Plus 590. Love those odds. Let's keep the hot streak rolling. Drew, do you want to take over this a week, or do you want me to keep the train rolling?
Keep going, dude.
All right.
Going,
yep.
You got it.
All right. Overs. Best section of the segment. We shan't touch on season records just for egos and such.
Go ahead and do it. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care anymore.
All right.
Not even alive.
All right. Well, Nick, we'll start on a positive note. We'll end on the negative notes. Nick had an absolute home run. Seahawks, Titans, 39.5. That covered with absolute ease. It was a slam dunk pick.
Yeah.
And that's where the positivity ends for last week, because me and Drew got absolutely pantsed. And I was watching Sunday Night Football, and when we got to halftime, I believe the score was like 31. The total points were on track to smash the over. And then the second half happened, and Baker went out, and no one scored any points. So the Bucks-Rams failed to cover at 49.5. That was a shot in the heart, because I had a 3-unit bet on that game, and I was going into halftime counting my money, and that's why you never count your money while you're at the table. So that was a loss. Drew on a historic run, so let's say. And when we went with DeAndre Swift over 76.5, and that one did not hit.
He was close though, right?
Yeah, it was close. It's all relative.
He was within 40.
I think at this point, you could just, if I bet on you, you're probably going to get benched within like the first 3 snaps.
Yeah. Get the old DK. What is that? Don't they do the like recovery bet when it's like, we feel
early
bad,
exit.
take your money.
Early
exit.
yeah.
Early exit. You're a good lad. Here's money back. Please keep on betting on our platform. But anyway, it's been scattered success in this one. We're going to turn the tides. This is where we're going to hit the parlay. A lot of juicy overs available to us this week. Drew, you're going to go first. I'll come second. Nick, we'll round out with you. Drew, lead us off if you don't mind.
All right. We're going to do an acronym called Keep It Simple, Stupid. Little PS.
Yeah.
It's the number one thing that you could go with when you're looking for that. It is a quarterback's passing yards, and we are sticking with the tried and true Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, over 211.5 yards on Friday. That's so
scared. Let's go.
Know. Listen, I have a future on his over 4,000 that is in jeopardy right now. I just want to ride that train. So, yes, let's get it.
Interesting fact, Caleb and Jalen Hurts both have the exact same over-under at passing.
I know. I saw that.
Wow.
I saw that on DK. I was like,
that's weird.
Weird.
Yeah. You know what you'll never see me touching is a Jalen Hurts passing yards over. That's just not going to happen.
No,
thank you.
Negative.
I had a big play. Actually, last week I had a big play on Caleb, and I think his like passing yards was like 230 around there. And I took Caleb at over 200 at like minus 210, and that was probably ill-advised. I was really nervous about that one. It ended up cashing, but just a dumb bet that I made. But let's get 211.
Yeah, let's do 212. Actually, it's 211.5.
Yeah, let's not do 211. That would be really shitty. Actually,
that would be the worst.
Yeah, that would
be
really
much worse
suck.
than like 190.
Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario. Let's get 212. Let's get 240. Anything but 211, actually. No, thank you.
Yeah, we don't want 211.
No, we don't.
All right.
Nick, Drew, I'm going to stick on the player props, and I don't normally do those, but I'm going to kind of double down and root for you on your fantasy lineup. I saw Rashee Rice at 75.5, and I liked it a lot. It's against the Cowboys. It's a game that they really have to win. The point total in that's in the 50s. So I would say lock and load. He's a volume guy. And I feel pretty confident in that one. So 75.5 Rashi Rice. Let's rock.
Yeah, I love that. That's lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So love that. All right, I'm gonna stick tried and true. Just gonna pick a game over. It's the first game of the weekend. I think the Lions Packers is going to have a lot of points. Numbers 48.5. So I'm taking Lions Packers 48.5. It's in Detroit in a dome. Both teams can put up points. So that's what I'm taking.
Yeah, I had that one. So I had that one in the top 3. So I dig it. 48.5, you say?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Let's get 48, huh?
Something about an early Detroit Thanksgiving game that always seems to promote the over.
Yeah, it's really hard not to bet an over on Thanksgiving in Detroit in recent years. So lock and load.
I'll tell you what's going to be the over: the number of plates of food I eat.
You son of a bitch.
We're at plus 572.
Okay.
572. So we're getting there.
All right.
All right. It's been a long show. Drew, you want to take us home on the
Let's rock it real quick, but no needing to be extra on these games going into 3-man weave. Although this might be the most successful segment that we have so far. 5-2 for Nick, 5-2 for Jason, 6-1 for me. I'm on a hot streak, fellas.
You are hot as hell.
I should probably bet these. Rarely ever will.
Yeah.
But full season, every team, every one of us is over 500 by at least 4 to 11 games. So that's huge.
I'd like to see your total. If you were betting a unit on this, you'd be doing very, very well because you're putting some dogs in there too, and that's a pretty 49 and 34 is.
Unfortunately,
is
we don't gamble like that.
Yeah.
Should probably get a little bit smarter, but whoops. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk Thanksgiving. Let's talk the 2 games that are closest on Thanksgiving. Don't need to talk about the Ravens and Cincinnati, but first game, we just reached on it. There's an over in it. Nick, so I'm going to kick it to you first. Who you got in Green Bay and Detroit?
I got the Lions. I think at home, the Lions are one of the best teams in the league. I just think that when they go on the road, they lose a little bit of that juice. This is why they have a couple losses this season and why I don't view them as a serious Super Bowl contender. Because I don't think they're going to win the division. They're going to have to go on the road. So I like the Lions in this game, though.
What about you, Jay?
Yep, echoing Nick's sentiments there, Lions. Keep it short and simple.
I like it. I like it both, but unfortunately, I'm picking Green Bay. I think Green Bay's got, for some reason, just what we've been saying so far this season. You guys have thought Detroit was a little bit more of the contender. I think Green Bay's a contender. I think if Josh Jacobs comes back in this one, makes them a little bit better of the team. I think they have the better defense of the 2. So give me Green Bay. Let's go into KC, going to Dallas. Jay, I'm kicking it to you first. Who you got there?
Yeah, it's KC. They're fighting for their lives, and they're just more talented, in my opinion. And their defense is more legit. So give me the Chiefs.
All right. I think Dallas is on a heater. I wanted to pick them with the dogs, but I feel like this is a closer game. I don't know. It just could lose it, could win it, but I'm going with Dallas here. I think this is their playoff run that they could only get, and for some reason, Dallas always plays hard on Thanksgiving. So KC's it's a different KC this year for me. So Nick, where are you siding between KC and Dallas?
I'm with Drew. I picked against KC last week, and although they won and I lost that game, it was close. And I do think that the Chiefs are not the same team that they were. I'm not going to go too much more into details. I think I've laid it out pretty well already, but I have the Cowboys winning this game.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Happy Turkey Day, everybody.
Yeah.
We are getting into Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Seems like a weird line. I'm going to go first here. 3.5 seems like that might promote Aaron Rodgers starting. Granted, we thought it might have been a different line with the Bears this weekend. I'm not going to be stupid about this one. I'm picking Buffalo, although they've had problems putting away teams on the road. I think they're the better team. They got to figure something out of like just beating better teams, and this is a start for them for me. So I'm taking Buffalo. Nick, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm staying with Buffalo. I think Pittsburgh stinks, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think they're very good. So I like Buffalo in this game, although I feel like I've said that many times, and Buffalo keeps just letting me down, but I'm taking the Bills.
They're an interesting character of a team this year. It just seems like they should win a bunch of games, and then the letdown's there, or they're just not even trying for it. Jay, where are you at?
I think that Buffalo is just this year they are just playing down to their competition, and on paper everything points to Buffalo. And I'm going to kind of zig to the zag, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home. I think they'll kind of play up. They need this game. This is their season in Pittsburgh. You could almost say the same about Buffalo to a certain degree. They both need it. Pittsburgh needs it a little more. It seems a little weird, and something's off on the vibe with Buffalo recently. So give me Pittsburgh here.
Yeah. Next couple of games are some interesting ones to say the least. We've got an Arizona at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, a 3-point favorite. I'm going to kick it back to you real quick, Jay. Start us off. Who you got taken here?
I think there's an insurance policy. I don't know if Baker's going to get the start. If he doesn't, then I love this pick even more. But I'm going to take Arizona. I think they're alive even if Baker does play. I think Jacoby Brissett they're not a great team. But I see some serious flaws in Tampa Bay on the defensive side of the ball. Baker's coming down to earth. If he's going to be playing, he's going to have a really banged up shoulder. So I'm taking Arizona.
Okay. Nick, how are you feeling?
Yeah, if anybody would have taken the Giants Patriots and their dogs, this was my number 2 pick. So I'm taking the Cardinals. I agree with everything Jay just said. I think Baker Mayfield doesn't play. That helps a ton, but I think that even with Baker playing, Arizona's got a shot in this game.
That's not one that I thought we were going to be in consensus on.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Hey, it was the Jags a couple of weeks ago, and it worked out.
Yeah. It was the Jags Chargers.
I just don't trust Tampa Bay right now after what we've seen the past couple of weeks with them, and now Baker not being healthy. Yeah, the Cardinals are not a team that is looking to do anything this year, but at the same time, they've shown that they can play some offense. So give me the Cardinals.
Yep.
This is a big game right here, this next game. And it's going to determine what happens in the AFC South for sure. We've got Houston going to Indy. Now, Houston has been very strong at home. Their defense has been predominantly better at home. I'm going to go first here really quick. I like Indy overall as a team, but I do think Houston's got something going on with their defense. I do think it's a strong defense. I think they're playing for their lives. They have to stay alive. And you can't get me away from the neck of Davis Mills.
Yeah, well,
Daniel Jones got a good neck too, but
they both do.
Daniel Jones does have a good neck, but I'm going to take Davis Mills over his. So, Nick, where are you going in this one?
When we were talking about the dogs and I was looking at dogs for our dog segment, I was like, this slate for dogs sucks. And here I am picking my third dog money line because I'm taking Houston as well. I think Houston's defense is is the best defense in the NFL. And I think they can stop the Colts offense. And I don't think it's going to be a strength on strength, weakness versus weakness thing. Houston is the team that I keep betting against because, again, of how bad what they had that primetime game against Seattle, I think a month or two ago. It was so bad I couldn't handle it, and I've been betting against them, and now I'm just ready to go back the other side. So I'm taking Houston in this one.
Well, this is going to be weird because we're going to do a consensus situation here.
Oh,
God bless us all, and in some more dogs. But we've been talking when we were picking these indie games. It's like, all right, Daniel Jones pumpkin watch. Well, this is where it's on full display. This is the best defense in the NFL.
Yep.
I think that Daniel Jones is going to be kind of exposed to being Daniel Jones again. We saw what Houston did against Josh Allen last week. I think that's very repeatable for them against Daniel Jones. So also, there's a good chance CJ Stroud plays in this game, that he clears concussion protocol. I don't know if that's better or worse for Houston at this point, but it's really just a bet on the Houston defense.
Yeah, their defense is supremely stout this year, and DeMeco Ryans just has them playing at a different level. All right, this might be another consensus, but I'm going to start with you, Jay. Here we've got San Francisco going to Cleveland. San Francisco being the favorite, obviously, after looking very well, but it's only a 4.5-point spread. Who you got here?
Yeah, I hope this one isn't a consensus because I'm taking the Browns, and I don't think you guys are dumb enough to do that. But I'm going to take the Browns. I think it's mostly just I have a vested interest in San Francisco losing games to improve the Bears' playoff chances. That's one side of the coin, but also that Cleveland defense is frightening, and it really is. And I don't think whoever is going to be, Brock Purdy is Brock Purdy, and I think they're gettable. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 2-3 turnovers that are forced, some sacks in all of that. So I would look for a quiet offensive week from your San Francisco players if you're a fantasy player with McCaffrey or anyone of the bunch.
All right, Nick, how you feel?
I think I got to take San Francisco in this game. Drew or Jay, I would love for Cleveland to win this game. Just like you said, it helps the Bears' playoff chances. But I do think in one of these games, I got to pick the better team just winning. And Stanford. I mean, and that's not a shot at you because I actually do think Cleveland is live in this game. I really do. Shedeur, he's very, a lot. It's a big question marks. Not really sure he didn't play great, but he didn't play terribly on Sunday. They played who they played? They played someone bad, right? They played the
Raiders.
Oh yeah, they played the Raiders. So who knows? Could be anything.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to roll with the better team here in this case. Although it is going to be a classic, like rainy, snowy Sunday afternoon in Cleveland. So literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Niners.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I am on the Browns.
Oh my God.
I have a.
It's
if we would have consensus on that one, I think that would.
No, it's all over.
We probably had to end the show if that would have happened.
Yeah,
apocalypse.
Meaning, like, just retire it. It doesn't happen ever again. But there's something to be said about the Browns' defense at home, stopping good teams. Again, West Coast to East Coast travel, and on top of it, you're looking like you can click. With a quarterback somewhat and a running back duo, San Francisco is still so banged up on defense.
Yeah.
I know they stopped the Carolina Panthers offense this past week, but it was a Sunday night game at home. It's much different on a 12 o'clock slate in Cleveland or in the East Coast, especially with some weather. So CMC can run as much as possible, but I still think that Cleveland defensive line it's supremely good. So
no, I don't.
Last one.
I don't hate Cleveland. I think that San Francisco. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Last one. We know where we're going. I'm going to be quick. I'm picking the Bears here. I think this is an overlooked game for Philly. I know they're 7-point favorites. Got to go with it. I think the Bears are just a much better coached team. They're hitting their stride. This means more to them. We need this. So go Bears. Picking the Bears this week. And then Nick, what do you got?
A lot of people in the national media or in online and the sports entertainment media such like world are referring to the Bears as frauds. The Bears are 8-3 with a negative point differential. It makes sense. I think we're going to expose the Eagles are the real frauds. The Eagles are a bad team. They're not a good team. They're not a well-coached team. They don't do anything great. They don't really have an identity. Their quarterback stinks. I am sick of the Eagles. They don't do anything well. I think the Bears have an identity. I think the Bears go in there. They get that crowd to turn on the Eagles, and they win the game outright. So I'm taking the Bears, and I'm going to hammer the Bears money line. It's not going to be a sprinkle. It's going to be a couple units on the Bears money line. So
Hell yeah. Well, I'm not gonna
Right,
I'm not gonna take the Eagles after that fucking speech, so give me the Bears.
sorry, I get fiery.
Yeah. No, yes, you should.
Where are you going, Jay?
Bears.
Oh, okay. Easy enough. Easy caprese.
Easy caprese. All right, well, that's 3 consensuses on our board this week, so we'll see how those other 4 games go, I guess. No, but it should be fun. I do like how, again, I said I don't like the dogs, proceeded to pick several dogs in this week, at least 3 or 4 of them, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, well, if you're still with us, thank you for listening. I know you have better things to do this week, but maybe we caught you in the car, driving around, getting some groceries. Maybe it's on when you're cooking your food, whatever it is. Appreciate it. We're just going to do quick closing thoughts. So, Drew, why don't you give me your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts, very basic this week. Enjoy all of the food that you can possibly eat on Thursday. This holiday gets overlooked by Christmas coming way too quick every year, more and more. So just get an extra plate for me and make sure that you're eating your fill on Thanksgiving. And then also, you know what, take some leftovers home, have yourself a good turkey sandwich the next day during the Bears game so that you can bear down with us all.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely. Jay, close us out with your closing thoughts.
Yeah, the holiday season's here, right? Thanksgiving's kind of the kickoff of everything about the holidays, and I love it. Spend that time with the family. Enjoy that time with the family. You know, it can be stressful, but it's only stressful if you want to make it stressful, right? Find the good stuff. Find the reason why you guys are all together. Establish that, reestablish that. And just kind of embrace the good stuff about being with your friends and your family and have that be the theme of the holiday season. I think we need a little bit more of that and understand how lucky we all are to have family, to have friends, to have food, and just kind of be thankful for that, right? That's Thanksgiving. That's what it's all about. So enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thanks for listening. Love y'all.
Yeah. Yep. And me really quick, I want to say I endorse both of your guys' comments there. So absolutely both of those things go for me as well. I'm going to give a little warning just because we are getting that cold weather coming up soon. So for any homeowners out there, you know, make sure you unplug your hoses outside if they're still plugged in. Check your batteries on your cars because we're going to have some cold weather. I had a battery die on my wife's car today, which had me in her works parking lot, changing a battery literally in her parking lot. It was not a fun day for me. But yeah, do all that winter stuff, you know, make sure you got gas in your gas can for your snowblower, all that stuff. Winter is coming this weekend, so make sure you're prepared for it. And again, but on top of all that, make sure you have yourself a really good Thanksgiving. I think that's probably number one right now. So, but that's going to do it for us here at Barely Qualified. So on behalf of Drew Bailey and Jason Maxwell, I'm Nick Lavris. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome Thanksgiving. Enjoy the Bears game on Friday, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.